All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the Jack and Around podcast. This is episode 7 coming at you from, let's see, it's Monday, March 6th. I know it's kind of, we went from March 1st just last week to March 6th this week. A little bit different Monday, Wednesday schedule. That was on me. Had some family down, but back on our regular scheduled day on Monday. So yeah, Jacob, how's your week been, man?
Same old, same old. Nothing nothing really special to be honest with you. Other than I guess the UFC event that we'll be talking about here in a little bit. That was fun. I Other than that, no NFL going on. The Jazz are just existing right now. Um, but outside of sports, same old. I don't know. What about you?
Yeah. Uh, Just getting ready for midterms, man. Had to work on Saturday. Had one of our junior days. Had a bunch of recruits on campus. Pretty long day. Um, Allergies are kicking my ass. I have not adjusted to these allergies yet, and I haven't been taking any medicine, which is just an absolute L decision by me. But I have been now. Saturday night, I went and got me some medicine because it was just I was sneezing like every 5 seconds. It was brutal.
You're being like
Um,
Nick, where he sneezes like 12 times at a time.
Basically,
Dude,
yeah.
allergy season, bro.
I've been like that my
Colton,
whole
Colton
life,
gets
bro.
it. I feel
Dude,
you,
it's
Colton.
it's
I
so
feel you.
bad.
I
Except that
understand
it's
you.
like allergy season is just like year round. So it's just ass. So ass. But yeah, work's been good. Just still getting adjusted to everything. Had a midterm today that sucked ass. Got another one on Thursday that I'm not looking forward to, but at the end of the week, get to come home on Friday. May end up going to Austin on Friday to go see Carly. Hopefully that works out. Um, yeah, but other than that, just got to get through this week, man. Just get to Thursday, get that last midterm out of the way, and then we're chilling. Spring break, get to come home. Yeah. What about you, Nick? How's your week been?
Dude, pretty good. You know, yeah, I went to the UFC fight in Vegas. I'll get into more, more on that later. Sports wise, the Knicks are killing it. Again, I'll get more into it later. Colton, fuck Boston. So that's great. And other than that, work's been good. Just chilling. Yeah. Not much, but just hanging out. Kyle, what about you, buddy?
Man, it's been good. Uh, we had a quick turnaround from the last podcast, so kind of the same things going on. Had a good weekend. Um, got to work today, or I mean, technically it is work. I touched on it last time. I'm doing my internship at a physical therapy clinic here in San Marcos, and um, there's been some things going back and forth between me and the clinic director, and I think it kind of made it official today. I'll kind of make it even more official once it comes true. But he basically mentioned in front of all the PTs and everybody kind of working there that they're going to extend me a job offer
Let's
once I'm done with the
go.
internship. So
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Congrats,
pretty,
dude.
thank you.
Congrats.
So pretty
Clutch
excited
sweep.
about that. So hopefully I get some paperwork here coming in soon, and then I graduate in May, and then I could just kind of keep working there until I figure out how I'm gonna get into PT school. But
Hell yeah.
other than that, man, it feels great. So a lot of long journey, tough times. Feels like it's actually all coming together for the good. So pretty
Hell
excited,
yeah.
but
Love to hear.
nothing. Thank you. Nothing brightens my day like getting to do this podcast with you boys. So
You've been
Corny.
staying in the gym or what's up?
since yeah, I didn't work out Saturday or Sunday. Those usually my off days, and then I was supposed to wake up today before work and lift, but I kind of decided to sleep in. So back
Nice,
on it tomorrow. Back on it tomorrow.
nice. I uh I went Thursday, Friday, was gonna go Saturday, and then I realized the gym closed at 6 and I didn't get home until 6. Was pretty pissed about that, but honestly I got some rest. I slept till like damn near 11 on Sunday. And
There you go.
Sunday, thankfully my knees are feeling a little bit better. Went hit legs. I also hit my head on a fucking piece of metal and knocked my AirPod out, almost knocked myself out. Uh Then I got up before work this morning and hit chest, and so yeah, got back on
Nice.
my prep. Made food yesterday, so back on the chicken, rice, and broccoli for at least this week because I know I'm gonna eat like shit over spring break. So
Very
yeah,
nice.
yeah, man, it's been
Oh,
decent. Yeah. So did y'all get to watch any of the combine?
I got to watch the last day. I watched yesterday's just because I realized former Aggie Devon A Chain was going to be running, so I kind of really wanted to see that old speedster. But other than that,
Fast
I never.
as
I've been
fuck.
kept up with them. I kept up with the A&M players, but
Yeah.
not too much with
Yep.
everybody else.
dude, did you guys see the story about it was a guard from USC? His name is Andrew
Yes.
Voorhees. He tore his ACL and he benched the most.
38
Like
reps in
out of yeah,
225 after he tore
dude.
his ACL. I mean,
Yeah.
that was
Good thing your
crazy.
ACL's not in your arms. You know what I mean? We're all surprised that he could bench, but I mean,
Let's have the expert
ACL's
weigh in. Where is your ACL at, Kyle?
it's in your knee,
Oh,
but I'm sure that had nothing to do with his bench press. But hey,
yeah.
congrats to him for benching
I
38
don't
because
know, man.
that's a shit ton.
Yeah. That's a
But I
lot.
mean, you can think about the mental process, the mental side of it too. I mean, I just tore my ACL, dude. Now you want me to go out here and start benching shit? Like I'm not even gonna be able to play, but to be able to still
Not
put up
even just
38,
benching, but benching 225 at
yeah,
that. Like, God.
38 is impressive even for an offensive lineman.
And he also has
Yeah.
probably one of the coolest last names you could have. Voorhees.
Dude, Voorhees, bro.
That's pretty
What a
sick.
name. What a
Straight
name.
up.
Jason's long
I got
lost brother.
to I got to watch a little bit on Saturday. Didn't get to watch a whole lot whenever we were kind of chilling in between like stuff for the recruits. Watched the quarterbacks run their 40s. Except for Anthony Richardson, I didn't get to watch him test at all. It was like Max Duggan, Stetson Bennett, the dude from Shepherd, and then Malik Cunningham. I got
Mm.
to watch them. I was very surprised that I think Duggan's going to be able to carve his way out of like a backup role. Like he might have like a Chase Daniel kind of story. I mean, he was the fastest quarterback out the combine, had some pretty good throws. Don't know if he's starter material, but I definitely think he could definitely be like a career backup or something. But I mean, well, speaking of Anthony Richardson, his testing numbers were pretty insane. I mean, he's 6'4", 240, ran a 4.44 40. Broke the combine record for quarterbacks by I think he hit a 40 and a half inch vertical, and then he jumped, I think it was 10.9 broad, and just he broke that record too. And yeah, I mean, if you're the Texans, what do you do? Do you take him? Do you take
No,
Hell
Bryce?
no.
Do you take Stroud?
Nah,
What do
bro.
you do?
You still got game
no,
film.
This isn't my opinion. I was just asking Kyle.
Yeah.
No, absolutely
no.
not.
If you really want me to get into it, no, you do not take Anthony Richardson. I do not think he's going to pan out like everybody else thinks. But who am I? There's people who are actually getting paid for this. There's people, scouts out there who really believe that he's going to be good and all the best to him. But I do not want to see him in a Houston Texans uniform. And if he does pan out, I'm okay with eating those words. But if he doesn't pan out, I don't want him to be in a Texans uniform when he doesn't. So
Hey, we do have a
First,
question though, real quick. In our Twitch chat, we got J Herb 20. He shouted you out, Kyle. I don't know. Maybe y'all
shout
buddies or
out Jay
something.
Herbo. Shout out Jay Herbo.
So actually, two questions. So
Okay.
we can just answer this one straight up because we do have a Saints fan here. How do you
yes,
feel about
sir.
Derek Carr to the Saints?
I feel like they gave him too much money, but hey, I mean, with how the quarterback situation was last year, I mean, anything's an upgrade at this point. I love Jameis, but it's just that's ran its course. And Andy Dalton, nice guy, just not a good quarterback.
Quick
I mean, Derek Carr,
question.
he's gonna have weapons now. He's got Jawan Johnson, Jarvis is coming back. Olave had a really good season. I mean, he's still. I don't know if Kamara is gonna be back there. Him and Henry Ruggs might be balling out at the Las Vegas Penitentiary. But
What about Slant Boy? Is Slant Boy back?
Slant guy.
Michael Thomas will hopefully be healthy
Will he
enough
ever
to
be
be
back?
back. I don't know. I hope, but
Are you that quick though? So how long has Jameis been in the Saints uniform? Wasn't this his first
2
season?
years.
Dude,
And hasn't he been
It's
hurt for both though? Like, I mean, he has.
he
I think
tore
he
he
still
tore
has
his
tremendous
AC
upside.
It's
But
too late now. You gave
yeah,
Carr 150 million, 100 million guaranteed that you're not starting Jameis anymore. He's going to be a
Yep.
cap
Dude,
casualty.
I think, dude, Jameis is a starting caliber quarterback. He should be starting though.
I
He's
mean, he can go back to Tampa Bay and go start because Kyle Trask is the
yeah,
only
yeah.
quarterback they have. Which honestly, it would not surprise me. Jameis back to the Bucks. But
I don't
yeah,
know.
what was Jay Herbo's second question?
It's actually up to 3 now. So
Oh
our second
gosh.
one. I guess it doesn't really apply to you, Kyle. I mean, you can speak because the Texans are probably going to take a quarterback second overall, right? I feel like
I
that's
would
kind
hope.
of a gone
I
question.
hope.
Yeah, or else there's gonna be a lot of questions to be answered by my boy D'Amico.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Question. All right, late round pick. You got to pick either Duggan or Colton's favorite Stetson Bennett.
Stetson.
Duggan.
I'm going Stetson.
Give me Duggan.
He's a
Give me Duggan.
two-time national champion. Stetson Bennett. He has proven himself over and over. I don't know what the 38-year-old has to prove anymore.
Right.
He can play in the league, and I think he will. I'm not gonna say he's gonna have a Tom Brady-esque career, but I think he could definitely succeed. I mean, I would take Stetson Bennett right now over
And
Zach Wilson
and
or
he's
Mike
I would say
White.
he's almost as athletic as
I
Duggan.
wouldn't at all.
And
He's not as
if
athletic. He ran 2/10 of a second slower than he did.
okay,
And Duggan
as a
had a higher
quarterback,
vertical. You
it
just said he's more
the gap,
athletic.
but the gap's
Duggan
not
literally
as
proved he's
important.
more athletic.
The gap's not as important
Then
though.
why did you bring it up?
and
Because Stetson's still fast. That's what I'm saying.
He's not as
Stetson's
fast as
quick.
Duggan.
Stetson's
Duggan
quick.
was the
He's still
fastest
fast.
quarterback out of the draft.
He's still
Duggan is a
fast.
better athlete,
Besides
yes,
Anthony
but
Richardson.
Duggan had a
Doesn't matter.
miracle year with TCU, while Stetson Bennett has proven in
If you
back-to-back
put Duggan
years
on,
that
if you
he's
put Duggan
him.
on Georgia, they would have done the same thing.
But was he on Georgia?
No, he wasn't, and
No,
they
he
still
wasn't.
both
He
went to a
wasn't.
natty,
Wasn't.
and
Yeah.
Duggan had far less talent.
And who turned up? Stetson
Georgia
with 3
turned
rushing
up.
touchdowns. 3 rushing touchdowns from Stetson. Stetson Bennett
That's
over
fine.
Max
That's
Duggan
fine.
any day of the week,
Congrats.
honestly, if you ask
As
me.
a quarterback, no.
As a quarterback,
on,
absolutely.
as a team, as a whole, yeah, Georgia, obviously.
No. Stetson is a
Okay.
better quarterback than Max Duggan.
Okay.
Nick, what do you think, man? You're a little quiet back there.
I would take Stetson because he's like 40, dude. That's
wisdom.
really it.
A little more seasoned, you would say.
Yeah.
So,
Like,
Jose
so-
Herbo said, Kyle, are you not scared that Bryce Young is a midget?
He's 6 foot. I mean,
No, he's not.
5'10" and an 8.
He's 5'10.
we round up. We like to round up around here.
So
You know, he's
5'11".
6 foot. What was Drew Brees?
6 foot
Was
with
Drew Brees
cleats
pretty
on.
small?
Brees 5'9".
We
Drew
weren't
Brees was
questioning. I mean, they were
5'9".
questions.
They questioned the hell out of Drew
I have a
Brees.
take. I have a take on Bryce Young.
Oh God.
Bryce Young has dominated the highest level of competition in Cali. Dominated the highest level of competition in college football. If I'm the Texans at 2, I'm taking Bryce Young. Simple as that. I
I've
don't
said it
care how
since.
tall he is. He tore up Georgia's defense in 21. That was amazing. I don't give a fuck how tall he is.
I think there's
He's
only
5'10"
one
and an
option
8.
at second overall.
Big deal.
If
There's
you say
only one
Will
option.
Levis,
It's
Will Levis.
Levis.
it's not Will Levis, man. It's not Anthony Richardson. It's not
Correct.
anybody else besides the name Bryce Young. And if we
Stop
don't take, if
overthinking.
somebody was to trade up for number 1 and they want Bryce Young, fantastic, good for them.
Take Stroud.
Well, you got to take Stroud. I mean, he's the perfect quarterback build. Anthony Richardson's a little bit more, is bigger. Obviously, he's like the Cam Newton. CJ Stroud's a typical quarterback frame who has, I think, even with in the combine, man, showed tremendous accuracy. A ball to the left by a centimeter, ball to the right by a centimeter, they're out of bounds. I mean, laying it straight in the pocket. He's a fantastic pocket passer. Can move when he needs to. I think he fits. I would think he would fit our system perfectly as well. So I want Bryce Young. Like I've been saying this whole time, Bryce Young has the it factor. I think he is a dog and just has something different about him that most people don't have. But my pick would be all in for Bryce Young.
Dude, okay, Kyle. But think about it. Think about a backfield of Damian Pierce and Anthony Richardson.
Yeah, I mean,
that'd be crazy, dude.
Dangerous, yeah. But
It's
then
like you don't like it?
Nah. Like I said, CJ Stroud could run when he needs to. I think he's a better thrower. He's a better
He's a
has
better this, a
precision
better this, better
passer.
that, better
Yeah.
that, better that, better that.
Besides a runner. So Anthony Richardson didn't even have that great of college game stats. CJ Stroud absolutely tore up the collegiate this past season. This year before that, and the only thing you have really against CJ Stroud is that he's from Ohio State right now. Ohio State quarterbacks don't pan out. Neither do Bama's. I mean, you got to pick one of those two. It's no other choice. I don't even care if Will Anderson it's at no. I mean, it's a quarterback 100%. Davis Mills is not him. Will never be him. So he can take the back seat in the second. Maybe I don't care if Jeff Driscoll gets the backup position over Davis Mills. You got to take Bryce Young or CJ Stroud.
That
You take
Driscoll is
if
bold
Bryce
one.
Young is there, you take Bryce Young. Simple as that. Don't overthink it. Stop looking
And-
into well, he's so and so tall, he's this and this and this. Oh, well, he had the wrong answer on this question. Who gives a shit? Can the kid play football? Is he good at football? Is he accurate? There you go. There's your pick. Don't overthink it. Give me Bryce all
I think
day.
you go Levis
Best
or
quarterback in the
Stet.
draft.
Stetson
Dude,
makes a surprise.
go for the experience, man. Stetson.
Yeah, the experience of winning a natty at Bama.
Now, honestly, sleeper. Niners
The
take
best player on
Stet.
the team.
Uh-oh.
Why?
Purdy might not be 100%.
Are y'all so you're moving on from
I haven't. But there's been some I don't know, the way John Lynch has been talking when they bring up Trey Lance is weird. He's just like, they're like, oh, how's Trey doing? Oh, he's good. It's like, I don't know, it feels like a breakup or something, you know. So I don't know.
Good, dude. You got old Purdy to hold it down.
Hopefully.
I still think y'all are making a tremendous mistake getting rid of Garoppolo, and I know it's like a feud going on between everybody with Garoppolo, but man, I mean, who else would you want as the backup besides him?
I don't know. I mean, I think the thing is just you got to pay him, and there's going to be another team out there at least that'll pay him more than we'll pay him to be a backup. You know.
yeah, the Jets will
for
come
example,
and pay him.
Hell no, we're
25
getting
million.
A-Rod, baby.
The Texans actually, I feel like that's not out of the picture. Texans might go grab him. Lamar's going to San Francisco, so
I've seen stuff
Hell
about
no,
Lamar
dude.
going to the Commanders. Was that true?
I saw stuff about that
yeah,
too.
That was
Adam Schefter was on a
that was
podcast.
That was Schefter trolling PFT
Okay.
because PFT's
Okay.
a huge Commanders fan.
Gotcha. Jay Herbo comments on the chat: Cowboys taking Stetson or Duggan. Jerry loves some late round.
Yeah, he'll take
Quarterback?
Duggan in the sixth
Probably
round
Duggan
or
because
whatever.
he's a DFW guy. And he said Lamar is going to the Foreskins/Commanders.
Yeah. Well,
No, he's going to the Jets, dude. Easy.
You can have him, dude.
I want him, dude.
Hey,
Oh
well,
my god.
by the way, we have, we just said, hey, we got the Saints fan. We also have a Cowboys fan, and let's see, list
it's
goes
the
on
Cowboys
and on.
and the Saints, you dumb fuck.
What would you think if either Stetson or Duggan end up in the Cowboys
Dude, if
uniform?
Stetson is a Cowboy, I'm gonna be so bad.
You gotta root for him.
Yes, because I'll have to root for him. I don't care. You're stuck with Dak. Dak is the starter. You're not gonna pay him $40 million to sit on the bench. Like it's not gonna change anything unless
If
it's
Stetson's better.
literally simple as that.
Stetson
Stetson
seems
is
like the
not
type of
better.
guy. Stetson seems like the type of guy to get something out off the field to get Dak hurt, and then so that way he can step in and start.
Yeah, he'd
That just
probably
Stetson seems like.
him and Dak would go get drunk or something. He'd like push Dak off a curb and then Stetson get arrested again. That's why, you know what? That's why Jerry is going to draft Stetson because he got arrested the other day and Jerry loves his criminals.
Well, then he's
Loves his
drafting
criminals.
Jalen Carter.
Hey, we're moving up to number 1 for Jalen.
Okay. And then y'all are gonna leave everybody in the dust, huh?
No, I literally have never said this is the Cowboys' year. I don't know
You didn't get
why
the
you're
joke. You didn't get
confusing
the
me
joke.
with Hunter.
You didn't get the joke.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh
There you
my
go, there you go.
god. All right.
But-
So back to the combine. Who's y'all's biggest winners and losers?
This is not y'all's year. That's all I gotta say.
Okay.
I'm
I
not
know
talking to
it's
you. I'm not
not.
talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Jay Herb said this is our year. We them boys. I think one of the biggest ones, in my opinion, actually I have two, was just from what I've seen, especially on like around social media. Like I said, I didn't get to watch all of it, but the edge outside linebacker, I believe from Georgia, Nolan Smith,
Oh my god. Insane.
he
Dude ran a
Offensive line.
4.39.
a 4.39 as an edge defensive
Yeah.
lineman.
This edge class is so deep, it's not even funny.
It's
There's
ridiculous.
so many. There's 7 or 8 that you could take, and you'd be like, yeah, cool, I'm good with that.
4.3940, a 41.5-inch vert, and a 10'8" broad jump. That is out of this world
Insane.
for a defensive lineman.
Yep.
Unheard of. And then my other one would be the offensive lineman Blake Freeland from BYU. Ran a 4.98 40 with a 1.68 10-yard split. That's outrageous for an offensive lineman. 37-inch vert. That's ridiculous for a lineman.
That's insane.
10-foot broad jump. Impressive. And then he's 6'8" with a 34-inch arms. That's an offensive lineman coach's dream, in my opinion. Jacob is the offensive line guru, as some would say. So, would you want that guy on your team there, Jacob?
I mean, if he's got the skills, I guess, or the weapons of his own repertoire. I mean, I feel like that's a guy that even if he doesn't have the fundamentals there, you can teach some fundamentals. So someone's gonna take some risk with that. I feel like offensive lineman is some of the least risky picks you can make. You can just like double, triple, quadruple down on the offensive line in a draft, and if two of them hit, if one of them's a starter, the other one's a good backup, you're chilling. I would say
I mean, if you're drafting in first round, I mean, Alex
Yeah.
Leather is literally already out of the league after being drafted 2 years ago.
right. I would say nowadays they're always pretty good. I mean,
Oh my
there's
God.
obviously a couple that are pretty bad. I don't even want to comment on that one.
I was reading,
I don't even want to
We're
comment on that
we're
one.
not
I was
even.
reading
We're not
Dakota's
getting into
comment.
this. We're not getting it.
For the sake of the show, just for my boy Dakota Kaufman, being able to watch us live for the first time, this is staking into the football. We're just gonna touch on it and we're gonna keep on moving. A&M wins the Natty
Shut
if
up.
true sophomore quarterback Connor Wigman stays healthy. Put your money on it, chat. Double down on it if you want to. 2024 Natty champs, Texas A&M Aggies.
That's the
Book
most
it.
ridiculous
Clip it.
statement I
Clip
think
it,
you've
chat.
ever heard.
Clip it.
Okay. My winner was that Andrew Voorhees guy that I mentioned earlier.
Even though
Just
it's towards
because, like,
ACL.
I think
He
okay,
tore his
if
ACL and he's the
he tore
biggest winner.
ACL, no, listen. Just because, like, he'll get put on notice for that, and I feel like as a torn ACL, I feel like you can cover as a lineman better than, let's say, a skill position. You just stick a fat ass knee brace on him and he's good. You know what I mean? So I think
No, not
no,
at
Let him
all.
go. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go.
no, man. All right. Well, okay. I think he's a winner because he got put on notice. He's a tough guy. All right.
Okay.
Loser, but not really. I don't think this is like really a loss, but I hope NFL teams are smarter than this. But Bijan running that, what do you run, a
4.47.
4.6? 4.47, yeah. I don't know, because people have been questioning like his
4.46.
speed. Yeah, people have been questioning his speed. And I mean, by all means, that's not slow, but
Not at all. It's elite.
What
yeah,
they wanted to
I
see
don't
from
know.
Bijan was a sub 4.5. That was the only question. Was his top end speed?
Oh,
And
was it
ran
really?
a
Oh, I
4.4.
guess I don't know.
Ran a 4.46. So that basically solidified he's going to get taken in the first round.
Oh, okay. I thought people were giving him shit for the
No,
4.46.
they wanted to see him run a
Okay.
sub 4.5. That was what their biggest question with him was.
Okay, then Bijan's my new winner because he's a
There you
There
baller.
you go.
Yeah.
He proved everything he needed to prove on game tape. Proved it again by doing the combine. Proved it again by doing how well he did in the combine, and then on top of that, just ran a 4.46 running back.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
And Herbo brought up Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, yeah, I definitely agree. Gibbs definitely raised his stock a lot. I mean, he already had a lot of game tape at Bama, and just how good he was. Shout out Coach Choice at Texas for developing the top 2 running backs in this draft, Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, Gibbs is going to be another great NFL running back. I don't know if he'll get drafted in the first round, but I definitely think he'll be taken like way early second, like one or two in the second. Like you can't let a talent like him fall very much farther than that. Yeah.
Jacob, do you have any
Hey.
winners?
I mean, I would say honestly, the one that stood out. I know he's got a awesome last name. Probably the way he pronounces his Kuntz, but I want to just call him Zach Kuntz.
Nice.
The only I'd say the only like jab at him really is he went to Old Dominion. I mean, you can just have that argument that he didn't play great talent, but if you look at him on paper, 6'7", 255, ran a 4.55, had a 40-inch vert. I mean, that's massive. Yeah, I mean, I would say the biggest loser in my opinion. I mean, other than the fact that, I mean, Duggan was never probably gonna get drafted. I don't think he performed great. Yeah, he's got the speed, whatever, but his whole thing was accuracy. And it didn't seem like he improved his accuracy at all. But yeah, I mean, some other names that like I kind of liked honestly. You got the tight end from Iowa, Sam Laporta, 6'3", 245, ran a similar, I mean 4.59, so not that far off. But I saw some clips of him at Iowa, and he looked like a man amongst children. Pretty impressive to say the least.
Laporta will probably be, I mean, what Iowa's basically tight end you at this point. Hawkinson and Kittle are both balling. Laporta's would be my guess. He's going to turn out the same exact way.
Probably.
I mean,
Dude,
those boys from Iowa are a different breed.
but that Georgia tight end though, that guy's
Darnell
good.
Washington.
As Jay Herbo just commented, y'all see Darnell Washington push that sled 10 yards. And what's crazy is
Dude.
he's not even the best Georgia tight end.
Yeah, Bowers is just fucking. He's the best tight end.
Is he in the draft?
He's not eligible. That's the
Uh-uh.
thing. He's that good, and he's not even eligible for the draft.
Was he a freshman
This
this
is
past
his
year?
sophomore.
Sophomore, damn.
Yeah, got played 3 years.
Yeah, he's nuts. Yeah, he threw that sled around like a rag doll.
I mean, it's insane. I mean, he's what? I think he was 6'6.5", 250. I mean, he's light on his feet, got great catch radius, and it's just an absolute.
And then he made that one-handed snag
Dude,
too.
that was
So
crazy.
not only do you have an athletic tight end, you have another offensive lineman when you need it. I mean, different. He may have risen his stock up too.
Yeah,
Come on over to
think he
San
definitely did.
Francisco.
Dude, do you think he'll go top 10?
Darnell Washington?
Nah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, really?
he's not. He's not.
No tight ends
worth
are
a
gonna go top 10
pick.
unless they're.
I mean,
what's his face?
Kincaid might go top 15, or the Michael Mayer.
I like him. I like Michael Mayer.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Myers.
Kincaid is just. I mean, that dude's a dog. I don't think he's dropped like 2 passes, if that. I don't think he's dropped a single pass in college. I think that's what I read from PFF the other day.
Wow.
I mean, Kincaid is wild.
Larry Fitz.
Oh. Yeah. So
Very fits.
Who's your
this
winner?
is nice. Who's my winner?
Mhm.
Roshan from Texas. Roshan Johnson had a great combine. He was already kind of thinking maybe early day 3 pick. I think he might have found his way into a day 2 pick now, maybe 3rd or 4th round. All I know is that him and Bijan are both gonna tear it up in the league. They're both gonna be really good. If you had a team with the mentality like a college team with 125 Roshans, you win the Natty every year. Confidently say that. Dude's one of the best like culture guys I've ever been around, and he's a fucking dog on the field. So yeah, can't wait to get in this NBA and talk about how shitty my team did this last couple of days.
Yes, sir.
So Celtics are playing right now, right? Grant Williams got fouled at the end of the game, got 2 free throws. It's tie game. He had 2 free throws, and he missed both of them, and now we're in overtime.
Who's that?
All he had to do was just make one.
Who?
Just make one, and the game was over because he legit got fouled with like 0.1 seconds. Grant Williams. Wants
Isn't,
20
isn't
mil a
he
year.
Mr. 25, 20 million?
25 mil a year. And he's looked horrible the last couple of games. So I guess since I'm already talking about the Celtics, I might as well just get into this absolute shit show has been this last week. Went 0-2 against both New York teams. Blew a 28-point lead against the Nets, and then followed it up on Sunday with blowing a 14-point lead versus the Knicks. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. I just am ready for the playoffs at this point. So maybe that'll give them a kick in the ass that they need to say, hey, we need to get this going, or hey, we actually need to try and play some on-ball defense because they just cannot guard anybody right now. It didn't help on Sunday that Rob was out, but I don't make excuses for injuries. It's always the next guy up. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But like I said, it's a regular season. I'm not really worried about it. We're gonna be in the playoffs. Whatever. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, we're up 111, 109 right now. 112, 109. JB just actually made a free throw. Nice. So yeah. We'll see if the Celtics can actually win a fucking game. Although they're down like 3 starters right now. So whatever. Yeah, Nick, I'll
You just-
let you take it over because I know you just can't. You're about to just talk over me because you can't. You just can't wait to just
Hey, man.
go ahead. Just come on.
I just
I'm
want to
ready for it.
say 9 straight wins.
Very
Go New
impressive.
York, go
Hard
New
to do.
York, go. And I just want to point out Jalen Brunson was hurt against Boston. His backup, Emmanuel, quickly dropped 38, 8, and 7 on on their face in Boston. So, and on top of that, it was a vintage Tom Thibodeau game. All the starters, they had over 44 points or 44 minutes played. Emmanuel quickly had 55, RJ 50 minutes, Julius Randle 47. Love to see it. Kind of. Wear and tear, but yeah, man. In the playoff hunt, I think they could maybe make it to the 4th seed. I think they have to go 11-5 the rest of the way to make it to the 4th seed. So maybe they can pull it off. I don't know. We'll see.
Do other teams above them need to not win? Is it kind of one of those situations as well? Or if they
Yeah.
catch
Yeah, something. Honestly, I don't know exactly how it is, but if they, I don't know, about 11, if they go about 11-5, they should make it. We'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, I actually didn't get to watch the game last night. I was studying for a midterm. I honestly forgot we were playing. Checked my phone, saw we lost, and it was just. I looked
Do
at
not disturb.
looked at the stats. Went to Twitter to go see the beat writer that I follow that live tweets all the games, and just got my recap from that. So yeah, congrats on your regular season wins, Nick. Hang the fucking banner.
Colton, does in a non-biased manner, does that at all kind of worry you if you come to the playoffs and it's proven that the Knicks can beat you not only at home but on the road too? In a 7-game series.
Hey,
Post All-Star break last year, they got blown out by the Pacers and then blew double-digit leads to the Heat and the Grizzlies, I want to say. So it doesn't really. I'm just kind of used to it. I mean, it's just they're struggling right now. They'll work their way through it. I'm not really worried about it.
I'm
It
not
definitely
going against the
sucks.
Knicks.
No, I'm not worried about the Knicks.
you're not.
No.
Ooh. Well, we're not gonna play you guys.
There's not one single part of me that's afraid to play on a 7-game series. Please, I would love it.
I don't
I'm
think you're
not
ready for
afraid
it,
of the
man.
Knicks at all.
I don't think you're ready for
Cole's
it.
gonna
Dude.
come off the bench and drop 20 on you.
3-1, bro. 3-1.
It's the
You
regular
can't argue with
season.
that. Doesn't matter. 3-1, dog.
The regular season. Okay, I don't care.
3-1.
There's no part of me that is at all scared to play the Knicks. See, he brought up Jalen Brunson's injury from a couple of games ago, but I didn't bring up when they beat us without JB because I don't care. Injuries is just next man up.
That's what
Yeah, but
that's what his
we beat
argument
you
was.
with the injury.
Our second best player was out and we couldn't win.
Our second best player was out, and we won.
That could be
We had
y'all's
three.
best player.
We had two
an argument.
starters out and we didn't win. And we also didn't have we had a starter out yesterday too. One of the best centers in the league. But yeah, that doesn't matter, right?
Dude,
That's
I'm
why I
just
don't get
saying,
into
man.
injury debates.
I'm
Rob
just saying,
Will?
man.
Who's
Brain one.
name the centers that are better than Rob Williams right now, Jacob? I see I see the face you're making. There's a lot of
I genuinely don't think you can
Come
make an
on.
argument for a player being one of the best if he stays healthy for 5% of each season. That's
True.
the way I see it.
How about his impact whenever he does stay healthy? And he's obviously one of the best defenders and one of the better offensive
You
options
still
on the team.
can't. I still don't think you can
He
make any
has
option for that.
he has okay, never mind.
That's just the way I feel.
He has the most games ever by Celtic where he's made more than 50% of his shots. He has like 75 games where he shot over 50%. And he was one of the leaders
So what
in
you're
the
saying is
DPOY
that
candidacy.
he had 2 dunks and 1 missed layup. Oh.
No, he legitimately shoots mid ranges and goes 10 for 10. You just don't watch Celtics basketball. That's how I know you can't.
You can cherry pick stats all you want.
Cherry pick stats. He was literally number 3 on the DPOY ladder last week before he got hurt.
He's good defensively.
Is that cherry picking? No, it's not.
I know Rob Will.
Why don't
I
you
don't know
talk
him.
about the shitty
I know
ass
of.
Jazz?
Hold on.
Now
Chill.
fucking terrible layup.
I know of Rob Will. Ain't him alum. I think he has potential to be up there with the best of the centers, but right now,
already
I
is.
wouldn't say he's one good defensive season that put him in the top 3 DPOY.
Last year he was in
It's
the
consistent.
DPOY
It has
race
to be
too.
consistency. Because then
He
you
was-
still
he
have
was-
you still have Jokic, you still have Embiid, you still have Rudy Gobert, you still have all these
Yeah,
guys.
one of the best. He's
that-
top 5.
I wouldn't say he's top 5.
Dude, he's averaging
Who's better than
8 points a game.
Because he's the 5th option.
Still, though, yeah, he's good defensively.
defense-
but,
defense
just 8
doesn't
points
matter.
a game.
Defense
No, he's good
doesn't matter.
defensively. I never said he's not. But you can't say he's up there already, and he only
You can say
scores
he's
8 points a game.
top
top
5
5.
defensively
Top 5.
centers.
Yeah,
defensive
there you
center.
go. Defensive.
I'm okay with
yeah,
that. I would argue
overall.
with you on that.
Jokic, Embiid, Gobert. Who else?
Let me think of my NBA
I mean,
thoughts right now.
Bam's good.
So that would put him in
Bam's
5.
up there.
Walker Kessler.
Stop.
Yes.
He has the most 7 block games in the season. So I gotta say, let's cherry pick some stats.
It's not
That's all I gotta say. Walker Kessler will be him. I mean, I would take James Wiseman over.
Yeah, see, this is where you just take your absolute
Cat?
Nah. I can't stand Cat.
You got DeAndre Ayton. Arguably, I'm just naming people out. I'm just naming. I'm not saying he was better than Rob. I'm just saying.
If you consider AD a center.
No.
Oh.
I think he plays
Miles
plays
Turner.
to.
I would take Miles Turner over him. Miles Turner's pretty good.
Miles Turner.
Mitchell
Clint
Robinson.
Capella?
Nah, Clint Capella's not there. At one point he was.
Yeah, I'm just naming centers right now.
Yeah, at one point.
But,
Mo Bamba, baby.
Hey, Jacob, man, how you Jazz been doing?
Hey, it's I'm not even worried about wins lost anymore. But 0-2, lost both games against OKC. But the only positive when you look at it is they've had so no Colin Sexton first game against OKC. You can get guys like Ochai. We picked up Chris Dunn off of on a 10-day, and he's actually been playing pretty well. And then the second game they played against OKC, lost again, but we had no Markkanen, no Sexton again. But Johnny Juzang, who point guard out of UCLA, we picked him up last season's 2nd round pick, undrafted. I think he was undrafted, and played pretty well. I mean, when you got undrafted guys that can come in and just put in good minutes, that's a positive. Again, the Jazz aren't looking to win at this point, I don't think. If they are, I think that's dumb. I got a pretty little unique stat, though. I don't know if I sent this to you guys, but someone went back and kind of calculated the amount of 60 loss seasons in the NBA history for each team. So you got like I believe it was the Clippers were the number one with like 11 seasons with 60 or more losses, and
Jesus.
you had all sorts of 9, 8, 7, 6. Impressively enough, so one thing that stood out to me: the Kings, the Sacramento Kings. As much as you want to believe how terrible they are, they only had one season with 60 or more losses.
I
And
feel like
then
they're really they're never really
they're
bad.
always mediocre.
They're just okay.
Yeah.
They're just stuck in the middle.
Yeah. It would just feel like just thinking of the Kings, you don't think of anything really. But if you go and take our 4 teams, you got the Knicks and the Spurs are
Ooh.
tied with 2. They have 2
Yes,
60 loss
sir.
seasons. That's again, I would have been thinking. I mean, not really, because the Knicks. I mean, they had a little time there where they were pretty terrible.
I thought what they would have had more than 2.
Yeah. Celtics have 1,
Mm.
and then the Jazz, none, 0 goose egg. So maybe that's their.
When was
Maybe
what's the time frame for this?
I think it's like since their existence.
Oh damn.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure. I mean, I don't have the exact number, but back in the day, they definitely weren't playing 60 or more games a season.
Yeah, they were playing
Because there was what 6
long
teams in the
time.
NBA whenever the Celtics won most of theirs. Them and the Lakers both.
Find any way to take a shot at this season, you're gonna fucking do it. There's such a long con to just talk shit. I honestly kind of respect it.
That's when the ABA was still going on, dude.
Right. Everything was still segregated, and the Celtics got some of their their championships.
Celtic, okay, they're the first team to ever have all starting 5 those all African American. Yeah, keep doing that.
Anyways, yeah, the Jazz are just existing right now. We're nowhere near the top when it comes to the Wemby tank off. But the Jazz's little slogan is "Take note," but one thing that's kind of going around right now is "Tank note." So it might be that way for us now. But I think the more interesting one is the Spurs. So what's the other than y'all breaking y'all's losing streak against my lowly Jazz right now? What are y'all looking like?
Man, we followed that up with another dub.
Dang.
Turn me
Oh.
up, bro, against the Pacers. And then
It's not a bad win.
Not a bad win at all. And then we came back with back-to-back L's against the Rockets, which I have
Honestly,
zero problem with.
No,
That's
that's
good.
sick.
Zero
That's
problem
good.
with. That is amazing. Thank the Lord for that.
What's his name was Pop was like, yeah, we got to lose to them. So we
Yeah, we got it. No, I want to look real quick because I just saw it. We just played the other day. It was pretty. We lost 142 to 110. Oh my
Damn.
God! Yeah, those guys.
142 points to the Rockets.
We actually scored 110 in back-to-back games against them. They beat us 122 to 110 on Saturday, and then 142 to 110 on Sunday. So that puts us 1 game back of the Rockets for the worst record in the league. Still continuing our tank for Victor Wimbiana, and that's about it. We're 16-49 on the year.
Nice.
So we actually may add to that 60 loss total and make it 3.
Yeah, break some records. I like it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, anything for Wemby, dude.
Anything for Wendy. I want him.
Until he takes that shoulder to the chest.
Ooh, Jacob's never gonna. You're never gonna let go of that one play.
unless the Jazz somehow end up with him, then he's the GOAT. So that's how it's gonna be for me.
Sure.
I do have one question for you guys. I know like one of the big things right now that's probably one of the biggest headlines in sports, I would say, is this kind of gray area right now that Ja is in. I don't know if y'all have any opinions on that. I mean, if you don't have the opinions on it, if you don't want to speak on it, more than welcome not to. But I'm just kind of curious. Pick some of y'all's brains. I see some nodding, Kyle.
Dumb. I mean, that's as best as I can put it, man. What an idiot!
Mm-hmm.
Like for what? I mean, I don't even care about this whole persona thing. Like, oh, you're not really gangster. You're not from this. You're not about that life. I mean, I don't know. I don't really care. but you're a guy who's up and coming. A lot of kids look up to. You're a superstar in the NBA, a phenomenal talent, and you want to throw it away potentially. I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna go that far, but I mean, to be shirtless in a club with a gun, I mean, for what? Like, if you're trying to live up to that persona, I feel bad for you. You know, I believe he's our age, and he's like that. Like, I wouldn't do that, and I'm nowhere near as important as he is. I mean, like, I have way less to lose than he does, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I actually read this afternoon that they had a meeting, an all players meeting, only players meeting, led by Steven Adams about off the court stuff. And then right after the meeting, he went straight to the club with his shirt off in the corner with a gun. Like, for
That's,
what, man? It
I
doesn't
think
make any
it.
sense.
I think it just goes back to what Shannon Sharp said. You have this $200 million contract. You're one of the faces of the NBA. Why? Stop trying to act like this when nobody cares if you are or not. Nobody gives a fuck whether you're
Mhm.
this dude from the suburbs or if you're a dude from the streets. Nobody cares. You have a $200 million contract. There's no reason to act like that.
Yep.
I mean, when you have Gilbert Arenas coming out and telling you need to calm down, I think you might have crossed a line. When you have the dude who brought a gun to a locker room telling you, "Hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this." I mean, if you're gonna listen to somebody, listen to him. Like if you're,
Mhm.
I don't know,
Him and
man.
I think Jalen Rose had a pretty good little monologue about it. Michael Wilbon had a pretty good one as well, I'd say. And they're all just saying the same thing, just like what y'all are saying. Why? Why? There's no reason to. Um, and I've seen the argument of, that it's legal to have a gun, and it's legal. Oh, it's just a
not
gun,
legal to have it in a club. I'll
right?
tell you that much.
Right. I think the biggest thing, in my opinion, is just like it was like the careless, basically brandishing it.
On Instagram
It's
Live. Like
yes,
there's a difference in like brandishing it to somebody in the club and then doing it to like 40,000 people on Instagram Live.
right,
Like,
right. Yeah, I don't know. Overall, I think it's a
what are we
bad
doing?
bad look. Nick, I know
I mean,
you're staying quiet.
overall,
Oh,
I think anybody, he just needs to stay away from, like 17-year-old kids, man, because he'll beat them up. That too,
That's
on
insane
top
to
of the
me.
gun thing, bro. Like, come on, dog. Or what was it? Mall security?
hmm
Yeah.
and he was like pointing
I
Yeah.
lasers
think
at people, and
Yeah. Like, come on, dude. You're fucking the money up, man.
hmm
Dumb.
You have
But
I
yeah.
have a PT and a tech that I work with that they bought tickets for the Memphis Grizzlies game against the Spurs, I think this weekend, and they were excited to see Ja. That's what people go to games for, man. You go see these guys play, and you want to make bonehead decisions like that. And not only are you messing up your own self, you're messing up everybody else around you. Like it's the
hmm
impact of everybody around you, not just yourself. So
yeah, I'm curious what I mean, I think a big part of it probably. I mean, I can't speak for him, or I can't speak for a situation, but I think a lot of times the way you act is influenced heavily on who you hang out with. Um, so who knows who outside of basketball he hangs out with that kind of influences him. But I would say even just like this persona that the Grizzlies have taken, um, where they're trying to be like bad boys almost, and you have, um, I don't know. The Grizzlies have very quickly become unlikable. I always liked them back when they had Mike Conley, Zach Randolph, Mark Gasol, and then John Morant comes in is amazing, and it's hard to not like him. And then the whole team starts acting the way they do. So I don't know.
Dude, all I gotta say is I don't want to be the guy who Steven Adams is mad at. You know what I
no
mean?
at all.
'Cause dude, I'd be scared shitless if I was Ja, bro.
Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
Fucking Aquaman mad at you, bro. What are you gonna do?
About to throw
Speaking
you
Shoot
of
through
him.
Zach,
something.
Speaking
Shoot
of
'em with
Zach
his gun.
Randolph, it was always cool to watch him go to work in the playoffs back in the day. The team was fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, the gritty
Watching,
Grizzlies.
The grit and grind
yeah,
or whatever.
OG
Yeah.
bully ball, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Remember when you told DeMarcus Cousins, "Not from bullies get bullied." That was hard.
And then you have like the complete opposite. I don't know if y'all seen that video of him where he's walking off the court, and there's like a dad, and he has like
Mhm.
his special needs kid on top of his shoulders, and he like reaches out and like touches Zach Randolph, and he turns around and like brightens up.
Took his jersey off and gave it to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
What a guy. Zach Randolph, great guy.
facts. Now we
Yeah.
we have the pick'em selected for this week. What's it looking like?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got some good games. We can talk about last week though, you know. Last
I'd
week
rather
I went four. Last week I went 4-1, and everybody else decided to go 3-2. So it's fine. I haven't added it up yet because the Portland game just ended, and obviously we've been on here. But I do have the games lined up for this next week. First game tomorrow night. We got Jacob's Jazz at the New Look Mavericks. No offense, Jacob, give me the Mavericks. On the road, wanting to lose, give me the Mavericks.
I think it'll come down to who's playing for the Jazz. Um, if Markkinen and Sexton are playing, the win percentage only goes up, in my opinion. I've got no clue what their status is. But I gotta stay loyal. The Mavs just lost that heartbreaker, so Luke was probably gonna come out and drop 65. But I'm gonna take Utah. I can't flake on my guys, you know.
Yep, I get it. I understand.
I know. Mavs, easy.
All right, buddy.
I'm
But
gonna
you
have to
know,
do Mavs too, man. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'll just separate this lead even more.
If they win, then shit, you deserve it.
You deserve it. Absolutely.
yeah, sure. Bro. Next game I got here, we got mid Hawks at Wizards. Uh,
Mm.
honestly, I don't even know what to think about this game. I need to go look at it again because kind
I mean, I took
players.
Atlanta against Miami because my boy Quinn, and then they went and lost. So, and the last time I will say we had the Wizards in one of our pick'ems. The only person that doubted them was Colton. And what do?
Yeah,
They go out and win. Um,
yeah, but give me the Hawks. I'm gonna ride with Quinn. Yeah,
that's bold.
you know,
Nice.
you know,
I've been riding with the Wizards, so I think it's time to switch it up. I think I'm gonna go Hawks.
Hawks.
That's not the way I thought you were gonna go there.
I'm going with the Hawks. I'm gonna ride with Colton on this one.
nice.
Bold.
Respect.
But
Dude, I'm gonna go Wizards, man, because fuck Trae Young.
yeah, that's fair. You cannot possibly pick the Hawks in good
Yeah.
conscience.
Nope.
I'll go Wizards as
That
well.
that would be a first round series I'd want to see, but it's probably not gonna happen. Another Knicks Hawks. Hawks just suck too bad
That'd
this
be
year.
nice.
Not wrong there.
So yeah, next game we got the Warriors at the Grizzlies.
Is
Like
Ja back?
three of the no, no, I think he's suspended for 2 games,
He got
and
suspended for
then
2 games, yeah, and then got indefinitely suspended by
yeah,
his coach.
yeah. So yeah, give me the Warriors. The Warriors are getting healthy at the right time. Curry came back the other night. Um, yeah, teams should have killed the Warriors, and now they're back again and healthier, which is not good.
Part of me wants to think that the Grizzlies put it together without Ja, and they get that camaraderie, maybe fix it up in the locker room a little bit. But like you said, man, Warriors coming back healthier. There's that little beef they got going on between each other, and I just don't think they do it without Ja. So Warriors.
Go Warriors.
Same. I think that's the
Sweep.
lock.
Yeah,
What's America's pick?
America's pick. Probably
We are
everybody
America,
in
aren't we?
America is, yeah, everybody in America is cheering for the Warriors right now over the Grizzlies. So the next pick on Friday, got the new look Nets at the Timberwolves. Me personally, I just watched the Nets beat the shit out of my Celtics, so give me the Nets. Mikal Bridges is really good. I think they'll go into Minnesota and they'll get a dub. I think it's a fun team to watch if they're not playing your own.
I think I'll ride with you there, Colton. I think I'll roll with the Nets. They look good. Ben Simmons is still out, but they've been
Well,
doing it without him.
big deal
yeah.
there.
So I'll rock with them.
Nick, you gonna pick the crosstown rival, or you gonna go out to Minnesota?
Dude, I'm gonna go Minnesota, man.
Nice.
I like it.
It's either gonna be a good week for you or a bad week.
Yeah.
All right.
For
Yeah,
myself,
Jacob, you're going Minnesota. Stifle Tower's too much, huh?
so here's my thought process, right? I want to point out the fact that whenever the big Nets deal happened, the one thing I was pointing out, they went and got like every 6'9", like 6'7" to 6'9" player that has long arms, plays defense, and can just like they're not bad on offense. So I just want to point that out. No big deal. But at the same point, Gobert was not looking great, and then they made a trade for Mike Conley for a point guard that doesn't hate him like D'Lo did, and now Rudy's playing well. So I'm gonna go Minnesota. I believe in Rudy. I like Rudy and Mike. That's really it. Because the Timberwolves suck.
Nice.
I think with the Knicks, with the Nets too, there, Jacob. I think we're really starting to, like you said, they have a bunch of different pieces now after those trades, who all can really ball. But I think we're really starting to see. I think it's McCall, Bridges.
Yeah,
Dude, he's
Really,
balling, man.
really
he's
starting to
balling.
come into his shoes. So it's pretty cool for them to kind of see him bloom. And all I tell you, we were saying with Cam, was it Cam Johnson? I think whoever was replaced Kyrie whenever Kyrie was out with them. Came in and dropped Cam Thomas dropped 40 straight or four. I can't talk. 4 straight 40-point games. All these dudes can hoop. All it takes is the right system, right supporting cast, and I think it's cool to see Mikal, whatever you call him, Bridges, kind of step up. So
Yep. And you have Claxton on the back end who,
He's a baller.
if you ever do some prize picks, underdogs type thing, if they have the steals plus blocks option, that's always safe with Claxton. It seems like he's not really an offensive threat, but he's that anchor they needed.
If you ask him to shoot a free throw, he will not make it.
Yeah.
But on the defensive end, he's a menace.
Exactly.
does that make him a top center in the league or whatever position he is?
Got his ass.
Next pick him there, Colton.
Next pick 'em is going to be a great game. This is going to be a hell of a game. Shut up, Jacob.
That was a good one, right, Jacob?
Hey, that was funny. Good little callback. I love callbacks.
It's the Bucks at the Warriors Sunday night or Saturday night.
Ooh.
I'm very intrigued by this game. I honestly don't know who to pick. Milwaukee had like a 16-game winning streak or some shit, and then the 76ers beat them the other day, ended it. But on the other hand, Golden State at home, they're healthy. This is tough. I really don't know.
I think I heard him say something at the end.
I heard him say "gimme," and he left.
He said "gimme," and then give me the Bucks, man. I think the Bucks still Bucks. That was too funny. I'm sorry. I can't hold it together. That was.
Hey, there he is.
There he is.
Dude, my thing was bugging out, man.
What were
Yeah,
you saying
good.
as you left? Did you say like, "Give me 1 second"? Is that what you were saying?
Sorry, what were we talking about originally?
We got
Dude, I'm
Milwaukee
sorry.
versus Golden State.
Milwaukee Golden State. Oh, my bad. No, I wasn't saying anything. My fault.
Oh, I thought we thought we heard you say "gimme" and then you left.
Yeah, he was going in for the gimme and then just didn't.
Oh, I'm gonna go Warriors, man.
Nice.
I think I'm gonna ride with you there, Nick. I think I'll roll Warriors. I think it's gonna be. I bet potential. I can't even think of the word. NBA Finals
I was
matchup.
gonna say
Yeah,
it's a
preview,
potential
man.
finals matchup.
So I think it'll be great. So, but I'll rock with the Warriors at home.
Well, Bucks personally, I think it's be a good challenge. I mean, from what I understand, Chris Middleton hasn't been playing great this year, but they did have that massive. Well, they got Jay Crowder now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
5 second-round picks.
yeah. I don't know. I think Milwaukee. Again, they have Giannis. It's hard to pick against Giannis.
But dude, he's day to day right now.
He'll be
Well,
back for that game.
Yeah, no, I mean he'll be fine. But
I'm taking Giannis though. I'm not even really
Okay,
taking the Bucks.
okay.
I'm just taking Giannis. Oh wait, you don't think I
Damn.
need to? Sacramento. Do we have any idea
Beam!
what stats? Because by the way,
Oh, I'll
if
pull
we're
it up.
if
I'll
we're
pull it
going
up.
back if we're going back to last week's pick'em,
What game?
that-
What day was that?
3-3 on Friday. That was a game.
Which one?
It was
The
like
ending with
130,
Russell
130,
Westbrook.
129.
Oh my god!
128, 127.
Yes.
And then
He's
Indy,
hilarious.
and then
Beam!
Indy Chicago is a great game. So 2 of our 5 games were
Yeah.
incredible games.
Halliburton hit the game winner. Shout
Yeah.
out Halliburton, man. He's having
Golly.
a hell of a year.
All right, so if we're looking back at last week's pod, go back and watch it for all of our viewers. We had Jacob he made his prediction for the Kings Clippers game. I think you went with the Kings, correct?
Yes.
Went with the Kings, got that right. He predicted, and we clipped it, booked it, all that good stuff. The Sabonis would drop 22, 12, and 10. He dropped 23, 10, and 7.
Ooh, that was
Ooh.
close.
Close.
That was
Not
close.
bad, not bad.
He had De'Aaron Fox dropping 35. He dropped 33.
Ooh.
And then he had Malik Monk
The quiet
with
12.
a quiet 18.
18.
He had a loud 4.
Ooh.
Hey, two for 3, basically.
1 for 8. He went 1 for 8, over 5 at 3 points.
So who else scored points on their team? Like who helped them win that game?
Harrison Barnes had 20. I don't know who
Barnes
this
good.
guy
Golden
is.
State
K
Warrior legend.
K Murray had 14, and Kevin
Keegan.
Huerter
Herder.
Mhm.
had 18.
Okay.
So
Golden State legend. Harrison
Hey,
pretty
that's-
close, man.
I did
close,
pretty
yeah.
well.
That's pretty
Dallas
close.
Maverick legend. Harrison Barnes.
There you go. Yeah. So
NBA legend,
I
low
like
key.
that. I like that one.
Nice.
All right.
Well, I went 4-1. The rest of y'all went 3-2. Yeah, always feels good to gain a game back on Jacob because he was kind of taking off a little bit.
Yeah, after I went
So,
5-0. No big deal.
Nah, I was the first one to go 5-0. So welcome to the club, buddy.
It's a
Okay.
battle between me and Nick now to see who'll go next.
Yeah, kind
I
of
mean-
doubt it'll happen.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, it's not a. I mean, I have I'm probably 2 games up, but Nick
You're
and
2
Kyle,
games up, man.
y'all are neck and neck. I mean, not far back at all. So it's pretty much
long
anybody's
back
season.
for
game.
me,
Still got a
3
little bit longer.
games. That's not how math works.
Hmm.
4 back from Jacob, 2 back from me.
It's all right. We'll get there.
Yeah, it just takes one bad week for one of us. Which
sure.
Mm-hmm. Which it might be this week for Nick. Nick might go 5-0. He might go 1-4.
all of us could go
Guess we'll
5-0
find
or
out.
1-4.
It'll be me.
Oh, thanks, Captain Obvious.
Hey, bro, why you calling out Nick though? That's what I was really going at.
Because he has a lot of different picks than we do.
Because I'm him.
No, it doesn't.
Timothy.
Bro, he has.
He was the only one that picked Minnesota, and he was the only one that picked.
I picked Minnesota,
Oh, did you? Well, you're stupid. Sorry.
and I picked Washington. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's got some company in each one of his picks.
All right.
Okay, whatever. I thought he was a little bit different than everybody, but
Hater.
Got him.
All right, Nick. Speaking of Nick, talk about Vegas, man. How was UFC, bro? How was
Dude, it was a
everything?
good time, man. Okay, so you know how they were doing that movie that
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
Roadhouse remake or whatever.
Roadhouse.
So Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
So I guess they did a scene earlier in the day during prelims. I wasn't there. I was only there for the main card. And so they did some scenes, but they did another one during the main card. So we still got to see Jake Gyllenhaal like do a walkout. So it was pretty cool. But as for like the fights, it was pretty cool, man. The last three were all submissions, and submissions are cool and all, but dude, I personally like knockouts or TKOs. It's just more exciting. But the submissions were sick. The upset, the women's title fight, that was crazy. The way I don't know, I don't even know how the hell she got on her back. That was insane. John Jones is the GOAT, and yeah, it was great atmosphere. It was fun. There's a dude in our section who kept doing shoeies, so that was fun.
Nice.
Um,
I always love seeing a good shooty. Good shooter for the culture, man.
yeah, man, but yeah, it was a good time. It was awesome. I was hammered, so it was a blast.
Dope.
Awesome.
Yeah,
That's
guys,
dope, man.
but
It
yeah,
it looked like a
it was fun. But what did you guys watch?
I watched the main card. This was after work, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I was struggling to stay awake for the John Jones fight. I think I fell asleep in the first round of the women's title fight, and I woke up like a minute in to the John Jones fight. I was scared I was gonna miss it because I woke up and I was like, oh shit, they're already fighting. Oh god. Yeah, I watched the whole thing actually. Aren't you proud of me, Kyle? Um, yeah, it was awesome. It was really cool. Shout out to Mexico, man. They got three title holders right now. That's sick.
Sure.
And then the woman who won was like a huge underdog too. That was crazy. Good for her. And then John Jones was a goat, man. I mean, he's the best. I mean,
He's so good, dude.
that was insane.
The only thing that kind of sucks is it was a little anticlimactic, I will say.
Yeah,
It was
It was
crazy.
quick, dude.
It was so.
I
I
didn't
didn't even know
even
what
see him
happened.
tap,
Yeah.
dude. Like I barely saw him tap. It was crazy. I didn't even like. I don't know the way he was up on the cage. I didn't know how he got him in like a headlock.
yeah,
I don't
that
know,
was
man.
I mean, it was
crazy. I know.
tight. He was tight in there.
Yeah. And I know Kyle sent me, I don't know if he sent it to y'all. Kyle sent me a TikTok about how his trainer literally called how John Jones was going to win.
That's not just
He
any
told him,
trainer. That's Henry
That's
Cejudo.
Henry. Yeah, so
okay,
He's him.
okay, what? Okay, sorry. I did
I'm
not
not
know
saying.
who the trainer was.
I'm not saying.
All I
recognize
know is,
recognize who he is.
I'm just
Know
saying.
his name.
okay,
Respect.
That's the first
okay,
double champ.
the GOAT trainer, okay, literally called how John Jones was going to win, down to like how he would have him positioned against the cage and the kind of chokehold he would have him in. Like that was insane.
Yep.
I mean,
Dude.
that's why he's the GOAT.
And even Alexa Grasso, I know she was talking about in the interview how she trained for it, but there's a clip of her training, and she had her sparring partner, her coach, or her trainer, or whatever. It was not a previous UFC champion training her. But she did have them. He threw the little spinning back kick, hopped on his back and tapped him. So that's just one thing I want to point out. I think I mentioned it to Kyle is, John Jones. I think now is almost like the undisputable GOAT.
Yeah.
But the fact that
Isn't
you can have that video where a guy tells him, "Look, John, I've seen this. This keeps happening. Look for this, and you'll get this." And it happened, and he was able to be coachable when everybody sees him as the GOAT. I think that speaks. I mean, he has his outside of the UFC stuff that has happened in the past, but I don't know. I think it kind of speaks to him a little bit. That's the way I feel, at least. I don't know. What about you, Kyle? What were you thinking?
Man, I'm a back up on what I kind of talked about last podcast, and I stand by the fact that I still think it should have been a more star-studded main card. I said it was lackluster in terms of stars, but to your point, Jacob, last week you pointed out that there were still great fights, and so I backtrack on that one and I retract my statement, and I stand by that it should have been more stars for a John Jones fight, but they were nothing short of amazing. I think every single fight on the main card was great. Kind of running through it just a little bit. Bo Nichols, um, that guy is going to be something.
Dude, he's
A lot of
good.
people want him to fight now for the championship. I
Messed
don't
up.
think so. He still has to. He's in the middleweight. He still has to go through Adesanya, Rob Whitaker, um, Pereira, all these guys, and I don't think he's anywhere close to being ready for him. But has an absolute shot at one day just taking over that entire division. And then moving on, you got Gamrot versus Turner. Went to a split decision with Gamrot pulling it out.
I thought
And
I thought Turner was gonna win that one.
really,
Just the not by the end of the fight.
okay, just kind of beforehand.
Yeah, because I was like, again, I forgot to mention this, but I did go 5-0 in the main card. No big deal with my little predictions. But with the Gamrot, I was like pretty set on it, and then Turner came out and was kind of rocking him.
Yeah.
And then Gamrot just won. He was able to win rounds, but it seemed like he was taking more damage for sure.
There was one point in the fight, and I like how we're talking about the trainers giving them their flowers, about how they're able to predict these things and see these things. Excuse me. Yeah, the UFC commentators too. I mean, Joe Rogan, he fought MMA, never really succeeded, but he knows the sport. You have DC Daniel Cormier, who's a champ. One of the greatest heavyweights of all time, or I think it was light heavyweights at the time. Did both. These guys, man, it's crazy how in real time they're able to tell you what you could do. So right, so like you got all these other sports. Oh, you should have done this. You should. Well, these guys are live in there. Hey, if you do this right now, they'll get out of it. And I think there's a great spot in the Gamrot Turner fight where Turner was on his back with Gamrot on top of him, and Cormier just pointed out, "Hey, you should have done this to get out from underneath him." Well, the next time he had him on his back, he did the exact thing and was out of there in a split second. So I think it's awesome. I think it's super insightful too for viewers to be able to be like to get into the minds of them while the fights are going on in real time. I think that's just dope instead of just looking at film. Oh, if you would have just done this, a week after the fight. So I think that's really cool.
Rogan and the whole broadcast team that they have for these big events they're always the best. They're
Perfect.
so good.
Even their
So good at
backups,
perfect.
even their backups with like Michael Bisping,
Yeah,
he's still
literally.
good.
Dominic Cruz. Yeah, you have Joe Anik who's always in there, who I think he's phenomenal too as well. But
Mhm.
I don't think you can go wrong with Joe Rogan and
No.
DC.
No.
Those guys are awesome.
Joe getting in the ring and putting that hat on
Hell,
was hilarious. That was awesome.
that's Joe. That's dope. And then you have Neil and the guy he actually put the hat for on.
Shavkat.
Shavkat.
Yeah.
Shavkat is number
Dude,
2.
that was crazy, bro.
That was a really good fight. I felt bad for Jeff Neal because it seems like he's coming off some injuries and I think he had some kind of sickness. I can't
Sepsis, if I'm
really
not mistaken.
sepsis. Yeah, which is serious. So this being his first fight back, I think since that was unfortunately against somebody like Shavkat. But it was a really good fight throughout the entire. I think everybody thought Shavkat was going to kind of run through him. Made it a great fight, and I just want to point out how savage of an ending that was to
That
choke
was
somebody
Dude.
while standing straight up, side by
Standing.
side.
Oh my
You know who that
God,
is
bro.
very reminiscent of? John Jones. He had
Yeah.
the fight against I don't remember off the top of my head where he now with Shavkat he did it from behind. I think John Jones was kind of similar to what he did to Cyril, just standing up, and then he knew he was out and just like dropped him and let him crumble. That was
That
kind of
was
similar.
Lyoto Machida.
Was it okay? Which that's again with the John Jones. If you look at who he's fought over his,
Dude, all the big names, dude.
Insane.
yes, it is
I mean,
He's
ridiculous.
destroyed every single one.
I just need Dana White needs to figure it out. We need John Jones versus Ngannou. We gotta have it.
We're probably gonna get Stipe. That's gonna be fun.
Maybe
Stipe's
it's
a
Stipe.
beast.
I just want to watch John Jones fight again, man. It's awesome.
Before I give you my thoughts on John Jones, I want to jump in. As Colton said, to the three Hispanics holding native-born Mexicans from Mexico holding the titles currently. What a time to be from that country, especially a sport that they're not well represented in. I think it's awesome. My girlfriend's not really into sports. Her parents are native to Mexico, and that had her on the edge of her seat. She was asleep. She woke up for that fight, saw it, and she was pumped. She was ready to go fight me in right there in the living room because she thought she was ready for the UFC. And so I think that's dope. I mean, you have people who tune in for that kind of stuff just purely to support their country. And so, what a time to be of Mexican descent, especially if you're a UFC fan. Nobody expected her to win.
Next 10
Shevchenko,
years. Next 10 years, you're gonna see a lot of Mexico
absolutely,
born fighters. It's inspiring. It's gonna inspire a whole generation.
absolutely.
You said nobody. Nobody.
I think truly deep down, you didn't think Grasso was going to win. It was just because you thought she was pretty, and you. I have
No.
that. I think I have that in
No.
our chat. I have that in our chat. I'm pretty sure, so I
Hey.
can pull it up at any time. I
Well,
respect it. Though. She is a very beautiful woman. Nobody expected her to win. Shevchenko was a huge favorite. I think like minus 850. She didn't have an answer for Grasso's stand up, and
then
Grasso was like
there's
plus
that
700 or some shit.
yeah.
And that picture of the grip she had on her to get her to tap. Y'all saw that?
Yeah, her whole right here was just white, and the rest of her face was red.
It's ridiculous.
Crazy. I think it's tight. Yeah, I wouldn't get in the ring. I don't know about you guys with any female UFC fighter.
Fuck no.
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 I would do it like if you like, hey bro, here's a couple G's, just get in the ring and just spar with her. Live TV. Yeah. No, I wouldn't get in the ring with any single woman in the UFC.
Unless I'm getting paid a couple million, absolutely not.
Yeah,
I'm getting the shit beat out of me.
I would love to see Colton versus Amanda Nunes.
Jesus.
Dude, she kicks me one time in the liver. I'm just.
They could kick me in the finger. I'm out.
Yeah.
I get punched once. I'm out. Like, I'm getting knocked out straight up. Like, I'm not even landing a single punch. I might try and just throw a kick out there, tear my hamstring in the process, or get flipped. I'm just. There's no way in hell.
I'll say, but wrestling outside the ring, though. I mean, okay. We'll move on.
All right, moving on to John Jones. You guys have already mentioned it. The guy's the GOAT, undisputed. I think he was the undisputed GOAT before this fight, moving up to heavyweight now to fight the number one heavyweight contender and gone. Crazy. Light work. It was nothing. One thing that I did see, though, and I mentioned it to my girlfriend when we were watching the fight, his first couple of punches looked, and this is Jones, looked extremely slow. They did not look like regular John Jones, which is obviously understandable because he moved up a weight class, but they looked really slow. And I think Gon just didn't know what to do once he got taken down. Stipe is going to be a little bit more seasoned and ready for the fight, I think. I think it'll be a lot better fight. I'm not ready to say that there's nobody in the heavyweight division that can take John Jones just because we didn't see too much. He got the only damage he took was in his nuts, and as bad as that hurt, yeah, I mean that sucks. That's the only thing he took. After he got gone on the ground, like you said, that was when it first happened, I was like, did he just tap? I thought he just gave up or something. I was like, there's no way he had a solid choke on him. And they showed that replay, dude. Gon's neck was pretty much just up. His neck was just up. He had that whole arm right there. I said, "Oh."
And I mean,
that's why he
tapped in like 5 seconds too. He knew what was coming. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm getting out of this before I just lose my life."
So,
but dude, I kind of agree with you with Stipe because I feel like he's a much better wrestler. So I feel like if he gets in that position, he'll be able to defend a lot better than Gon. So yeah, I agree with you on that one.
Because we saw what happened when Ngannou took down Gon. I mean, he submitted him. I mean, Gon has nothing to do on the ground. He is, as I mentioned last podcast, he's a phenomenal striker. He's not like a regular heavyweight, but once you get taken down, that's what John Jones does. He not only can he stand up and throw with you, but he can take you down and wrestle. So
Mhm.
I would like to see a little bit more
Good.
competition for him. I don't even think I think Ngannou would be his best chance to be beaten. I don't think Stipe beats him. I don't think anybody else in that heavyweight division can beat him. Um, honestly, like it's just of what I know of John Jones, but I'd like to see some more of him in the heavyweight division just to see how he does actually stack up against an older Stipe, but a more seasoned Stipe who's gonna be ready for the fight. So I think it'll be interesting.
It's gonna be fun, man. I'm excited. It was cool to watch John Jones fight again. That was awesome. I've been
Mhm.
waiting for that for a while.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks for that, Kyle. I really appreciate it. You were doing a bunch of talking there. It's probably gonna be me and you doing a bunch of talking on this next topic. So yeah, finally gonna do our first edition of
Damn, just throw
some
some more
college
shade, why
baseball.
don't you?
They're shitting on me, dude. I'm prepared. I have notes.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. Cool.
Start us
You
off.
need them. Yeah.
I'll start you
Start us
off,
off,
man.
Nick.
Start you off.
Yeah.
I'm talking about UT baseball, dude.
Oh boy. Yeah. There's a
I'm
lot to
talking
talk
about
about
okay.
there.
So not great so far at 4-7. You know, not great by any means, but we have coming up UT baseball. So there's some games against Sam Houston, Mercer, and then 3 Manhattan, or 2 North Dakota State, 3 New Orleans, and then Incarnate Word. That's perfect because these smaller schools, you know, we can kind of ramp it up, pump up games, and then that, you know, will kind of get them, you know, a few wins here and there, and then a tough stretch with Tech, A&M, OSU, you know, which I think they should get back on track. It's still early, and UT is always good in baseball. I personally haven't watched, or I don't know any of the players, but UT is always good in baseball. So I'm going to trust the process.
Going off what you
Boom.
said, I mean,
Boom.
you're right. They do have a I think it's an 11 game home stretch coming up. It's obviously not the greatest teams as they're ramping up for conference play. They started off the year with some pretty difficult teams. They went and played in I think it was in Frisco, around Frisco. It was at the Ranger Stadium. They played Arkansas, they played Vandy, and they played Missouri. They lost all three. So started off the season 0-3. Definitely wasn't what they were looking for. Came back, beat Texas A&M, Corpus Christi, which I mean it's a midweek game. That's just kind of how it goes. Then they hosted Indiana, which the Big Ten is not known for their baseball. Only took 2 of 3. Not good. Not good. Uh, Definitely need to sweep a team. Any team north of the Mason Dixon line is not good at baseball. Simple as that. The South runs baseball. So it was a little concerning to see them not win that third game on Sunday, especially because of how bad the base running has been. I think they had 4 outs from base running errors, and it's inexcusable at this point. The pitching hasn't been as bad as I thought it would. Besides the Vandy game, I think they've lost every game by either 1 or 2 runs. Uh, they went out to Cal State Fullerton this past weekend. They It was the Augie Garrido Bowl, series, as you might say, because Augie coached at Cal State before he eventually came over to Texas. They dropped 2 or 3 to Cal State, which is not. I mean, Cal State's got a good team this year, but it's just the base running's been abysmal. The hitting is just horrible. I mean, I think they scored 3 runs on Friday, 4 on Saturday, and then 5 on Sunday, or 4 on Sunday. It was just they're they've got the pitching is young and the whole team is young. It's very hard to replace what they lost last year. Texas lost 7 of their 9 starters in the field, including 2 of their starting pitchers. They lost the Friday and the Saturday guy, and then the Sunday guy is still not back. So they have a legit entire new pitching staff. And I mean, you can't replace 32 homers a year by the goal, and you can't replace the Golden Spikes winner. It's just you just can't. You just kind of you got to battle until you get to conference play, and hopefully the young guys can get enough experience to get hot at the right time. It's been a rough season so far, but 11 game homestand got a chance to kind of get things figured out, get things rolling a little bit before we head into conference play. And conference play is going to be a gauntlet again this year. Like Nick said, Tech's always good. 23rd, 24th right now. A&M obviously preseason top 5. That's a midweek game. They've been well. Let Kyle talk about that in a minute. But OSU, OSU has like 3 no hitters already this year. I mean, TCU is always good. Baylor's awful, but yeah, conference play is gonna be interesting for sure. Speaking of A&M, Kyle, why don't you take us through how A&M's doing?
Yeah. As you mentioned, preseason top 5 had a lot of hype going into the season. I would say we definitely have not lived up to that expectation. Currently sitting at 7-4. Um, just lackluster beginning. It's nothing special. I feel like we've kind of been bad on the offensive side more so than the defensive side. We've given up a couple of high amount of runs in like maybe a couple games, but for the most part, we're losing by 2, we're losing by 1, we're losing by 3. Just offense really isn't showing up when it needs to. There are just games we shouldn't be losing technically. If you go off of, and I kind of wanted to touch on Nick's point. Technically, there are games you would look at and be like, "Hey, this is A&M. Hey, this is what's the team we played? I can't think of the Portland. Who the hell is
No,
Portland?
that wasn't even a midweek game either. That was
Yeah,
a
that was a
pregame
serious
game.
game. Yes, and we went 1-2 on the weekend against those guys. But I think more so in baseball than any other sport, that's when the size of the school really doesn't matter. Especially in baseball, I think there's so many um, talented baseball teams that they can go up against really anybody. Every once in a while, you'll see a big. I wouldn't even say big. You see the talent discrepancy between the two teams, but for the most part, I feel like baseball is kind of even. You all have guys who can throw 95 plus with nasty breaking pitches, guys who can swing the bat really well, field the ball, all that stuff. But this
Would you
happened to
say
us last. Go ahead.
would you say baseball is more coaching based than I guess raw like athletic talent? Or like what do you think?
Mm. I wouldn't. I wouldn't say coaching just because. Well, I feel like once you make it to that kind of level, there's only so many things you can tweak, and it all kind of comes down to end game type things. How the pitcher's throwing. I mean, you know how to throw the ball, you know how to swing the bat. There's not really much you can do. You can change like approach things, what to be looking for when you go up to hit. But I wouldn't say it's more of a coaching game. I think it kind of depends uh, purely on talent. I would say.
think I think the only way coaching is a little different is just more like situational coaching. Like I
Mhm.
mentioned, Texas had like 4 base running outs and like knowing when to send people in the situation that you're in. I feel like it's a little more at the college level at least, it's a little different than like say like the NBA. Like you're not really drawing up plays. You're telling them just go play. Like you know how to play basketball, go play. Sure, at the end of games, you might get a play drawn up for like an inbound or a final to get somebody a final shot, but it's not like as I don't know. The coaching aspect is just different in baseball. Just because there's so many different things that you can like oh hey we're gonna bunt here or hey we're gonna you know it's 3-0 take don't swing the bat like stuff like that. I think situational baseball is more of a coaching thing, but other than that, I mean like Kyle said, you know how to throw the ball, you know how to hit the ball. It relies more on the player. Oh hey, can I hit my spot, or am I calling, is the guy behind the plate calling the right pitch? There's not much a coach can really do from that standpoint unless he's calling the pitches, of course, which is not really what happens, but yeah.
Yeah. So this kind of happened to
My
A&M
bad. I
last
cut
year.
you off.
No, you're good. No, that's good. That's a good talking point. Um, A&M did this last year. Fell to Penn um, early in the year, and we ended up making the College World Series, coming out pretty good. So and getting a preseason top 5. So I don't think it's too early. I can't talk tonight. I don't think it's too early to start worrying. I think we have a very long season to go. But right now, it's looking a little shaky. But we got Incarnate Word on Tuesday, Rice on Wednesday, then a weekend series against Northern Kentucky. So this could be a great opportunity for us to bounce back and possibly win 5 straight. So I'm excited.
Nice. I'm gonna talk a little bit about LSU baseball since I go here now and kind of taking over as my number one team. So LSU is ranked number one overall. They have two, potentially three first round picks on this team. This team was one of the most hyped up teams in the offseason that I've ever seen. Paul Skeens, the Friday night starter, he's pitched in 3 games. He has 36 strikeouts through 18 innings pitched, and he's given up 1 run, I think. So yeah, he's pretty damn good. Dylan Cruz could probably be playing Double A right now. He got drafted like 5 overall coming out of high school, but decided to go to college, which you really never see because the signing bonus is so much at that slot. Yeah, I mean this team is really really good. Their last 4 games they've run ruled the teams, so they haven't even had to play past 7 innings. Saturday they won 28-1. Uh, yeah, I mean it's just like every other team right now. They're playing a bunch of bad teams, getting ready to ramp up conference play. As Kyle knows, the SEC's conference play in baseball is very, very difficult. They got Lamar on Wednesday. They actually played tonight. They beat Butler 13-0, I think is what it was. They got Lamar on Wednesday, and then they have a 3-game series versus Samford coming up this weekend. So I don't expect them to lose any of those games. I mean, I'm excited for it though because Tennessee comes to town and Arkansas comes to town. So I'm gonna be at a lot of those games, and I'm excited for the atmosphere because the stadium here is really nice, and we're gonna tailgate, party, just have a good time. So I'm ready for that. But yeah, LSU has been one of the most hyped teams I think I've ever seen. So literally anything less than making it to the championship series in Omaha is a failure for this team. Like anything less than that is just either somebody got hurt, like a lot of people got hurt, or they just failed to meet the expectations. But this LSU team is one of the best teams I've seen in a long time. They legit got 3 guys that can hit 100, and Skeens also plays in the field too. He also hits, so he can hit you 10 times a year. So I mean, yeah, they
Nice.
I wish that the A&M series was here, but it's in College Station. You should try to go that, Kyle.
I'm definitely gonna try.
It'd be extremely fun.
Go and see
Yeah,
A&M get whooped or what?
Yeah,
yeah,
probably. It depends on which A&M team shows up, man. I mean, I
yeah,
think
for
I think
sure.
we can still compete with anybody in the nation, but
Yeah,
LSU is
I
a
mean,
great team. And that's the thing about baseball too. And I think we see it more often than maybe in other sports. But I mean, like I said, the talent discrepancy isn't that big. I mean, anybody can win at any given day. The worst team can beat the best team um, on a daily basis. It just depends on what team shows up, and I feel like that goes for any sport. But
yeah,
baseball, and
baseball.
you have a long time. Different things, like you said, different things can happen. It's just I think it's one of the most exciting games in my opinion.
Who's on, who's off, all that. And I mean, LSU last Tuesday played Texas. They went to Texas. They played at Texas. No, it was 0-0 going into the ninth inning. You have the number one ranked team is one of the best teams I've seen in a long time versus probably one of the worst Longhorn teams I've seen in 10 years. And going into the ninth inning, they were tied and playing very competitive baseball. And all it took was a home run from Gavin Dugas in the top of the ninth to put LSU up 3-0, and that was the final score. Literally, one home run was the difference. I mean, it was a hell of a game too. Like it was like edge of your seat. There was always runners on base. People getting put in situations. I mean, I expected Texas to get just donkey stomped, honestly. I didn't think it was going to be close. And then the whole game was just like, oh my God, this is such a good game. And it was, like you said, baseball is like, you really just never know.
Yeah. Jacob, you got any thoughts on this college baseball season?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as Nick, right? I'm not a huge baseball guy. But I mean, after I did some little basic looking at some box scores from UT. I mean, nothing really stood out to me. I feel like most of the time, if you go and look at team performances, at least something will stand out. In the NBA, you could kind of get a feel of who the best three players are by their stats on the season, their averages, stuff like that. But I mean, there's nothing really I could put together, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's partially from some more unexperienced eyes looking at it, or if that's just a fact. That's just really the only thing I noticed. I don't know. Nothing was impressive to me. So I don't know if that
The
says
Texas,
much or not.
it's the Texas game versus Vanderbilt that first weekend that they played. Starting pitcher Travis Staley, he gave up 8 runs, and when he exited the game, his ERA was 0. That gives you any idea
Wait,
how
do
bad
they
the
suck this
Texas
year?
defense has been. Who?
Who
UT, do they suck this year?
They're
compared to
not
the
that
I wouldn't say
previous?
that I wouldn't say that they suck. They're just
Like, are they
it's not
ranked?
no.
Oh, so they suck, dude. God damn it.
That doesn't
Yeah, they're not the
uh
greatest this year. They're
it's
just young. Lost a lot.
they did you hear what I said earlier about how much they had to replace?
Yeah,
Like
but I thought UT they'd always, they're usually was pretty good at baseball.
yeah,
I
they
thought they'd
usually
just
are, but
rebound.
whenever you lose 7 of your 9 starters in the field and lose when you lose all 3 of your weekend starters, you can't replace that. Like it's just not possible. They had 8 people get drafted, and
And it's not like
they had the best player in all of baseball last year. You can't replace that. He literally broke UT's record for most home runs ever hit in a season. Like
I could break the record.
and it's not like football where we see kind of multiple people get PT. Same with basketball, right? The second and third strings they get time playing baseball. It's the best 9 out there every single time, unless there's an injury or unless you have like um, a couple of players at like 2 players at one position who are really competing for a spot. Those other guys on the bench, man, they don't see time at all.
unless it's a midweek game, you're not getting in.
Yeah,
And
then.
even then, if it's a close midweek game, you're not getting in.
So I mean, if you lost not 7 of your 9 starters, those guys who are now playing didn't see very much playing time the year before. So you can't really say, oh, well, they have a little bit of experience because they don't. They don't have any experience in any game
Literally,
collegiately. I'd say.
it's Dylan Campbell didn't even start last year. It was Eric Kennedy and Mitchell Daly, who are the only 2 starters in the field. Daly had to move to short from second, and then Kennedy's in right. And I think DC and Eric Kennedy kind of split time last year because Kennedy was going through a rough patch. So DC has a little bit of experience, but
You got Daniel
I mean
Cormier out there. What?
Dylan Campbell.
DC,
I would
Imagine
pay
him
for him to see him play on a baseball field.
and have him get hit by a pitch.
Yeah. Oh, that hit, yeah, that wouldn't be nothing, dude. He's used to punches and kicks. That shit, he's like, what the
And
hell is
I'd
this?
be more surprised to see how fast the pitcher's 40 time
go.
gets. Just for a second. This worked earlier. Well, I guess we're blurry for a minute.
Way to go. I
Gets
was
a new
like,
camera and it just doesn't even know how to work.
broke his camera again.
wow.
So I want to throw
Anyways,
this out here since we're kind of talking about baseball. Um, I think you'll know what my answer is based off of this. What do you guys think is the hardest sport out there, skill wise? What sport requires the most skill set?
I mean, I would
Think
never
of
think I'd be able to hit a fastball. I think
Probably.
if you put me in any sort of, I mean, I'm not saying place me in a professional sport, but I mean, throw me in the NBA, I could probably hit a shot and get lucky. In NFL, give me some open field, I could pick up a first down maybe, but I
Oh,
don't think I could get a base hit. You know, I
You
think
give me 500 at bats versus Jacob DeGrom, and I'm maybe fouling off 3 times.
I
In
think
the
I'm getting
entire
25
at bat.
home runs actually.
I mean, hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports. There's no doubt in my mind. I played baseball, played football, played basketball. Hitting a baseball is so insanely difficult. It's not even funny.
I think golf is very hard.
Oh, 100%. Yeah,
But
100%.
it
Golf is
but
very hard
it
too.
both it those are it's a similar thing. Hit ball, hitting a
When it
ball is
comes,
harder than you know.
yeah, but hitting a ball standing still versus hitting a 96-mile-an-hour slider with 12 inches of break, a little bit different.
I'm not saying it's harder. I'm just
Yeah,
saying that in my
both are very
opinion,
hard.
the two hardest sports I've ever played are
Yep.
have to do with hitting a ball.
And
Yeah.
for me being a guy who played the game for 18 years, um, no matter how used to it you get, that shit is fast. And then
It's
you add a 96-mile-an-hour fastball on top of a 70-mile-an-hour changeup or a curveball, and then like an 80-mile-an-hour changeup. All these different pitches that are moving different ways. No, thank you. I'm good.
curveball that looks like it's coming at your head. You turn in and strike three. And
My
nothing more embarrassing.
my first year of college, I saw a 96-mile-an-hour fastball from about a 3/4 slot. So for those of you who don't know, 3/4 slots, his hand where he's releasing the ball is at my freaking head. So think if I'm a right-handed hitter facing against a right-handed pitcher, where he's releasing the ball, it looks like that ball's gonna come straight and dome you in the face. I blinked, and all you heard was I just looked back to the umpire, and I was like, "Damn!" I didn't see the bat, the whole at bat. I didn't see the ball. He threw me three fastballs and three sliders. I
Hmm.
walked, so because I couldn't see
Nice.
the ball. But you take it what you can get. But
Hey, better to be
hitting a
lucky than good
baseball
sometimes.
is so hard. So
It's insanely difficult. Yeah. Well, all right, Nick. What have you got cooked up for us today?
Alrighty. Let's see.
I'm excited.
Okay, so this one is so it's a would you rather NBA edition, shooting guard. I'm gonna do Anthony Edwards. We'll start off with him and then, same process last time, keep going. So Ant or Bradley Beal? This is right now fully healthy.
Bradley Bill.
oh oh
I think
that
give
was
me
easy,
Bradley
huh,
Bill.
Cole?
It sounded easier than it was, but as of right now, Beal. I think Ant's got a insanely bright future, and I think he's a really good young player. But right now, give me Bradley Beal. He's just playing for the Wizards. You put Bradley Beal on like the Lakers or the Bucks or the Celtics, like he's gonna be a little more inclined to drop 40 every night than
You
play
trading
for the
Brown for
Wizards.
Beal straight up?
Oh, that's a tough one. That is. Oh my god.
Would you risk breaking up the greatest duo of all time?
Oh my god. Honestly, if a straight up deal like that was on the table, I wouldn't do it. Don't break up the chemistry you already have. There's no reason to. Every team goes through rough patches.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right, Nick.
breaking each other's faces and stuff.
I
uh,
personally, I would take Anthony Edwards just because I like him
yeah,
a little bit
I feel
more.
like you're playing
That's just
devil's
me
advocate.
personally.
no, because I kind of want to
Um,
pick Ant too, dude. I think his
yeah,
upside
for
is
some
just so much
reason, yeah,
higher, and I
for
But he's
think,
some
saying
like you
reason,
said, Beal is buried
he's
right
saying right
now.
now though.
Yeah, but I mean, even right now, Ant is still crazy. Like Ant ain't no slump, bro. Like he's a hooper.
Bradley Beal is
Uh,
too.
but so is Bradley
yeah,
Beal. Yeah,
dude.
but
Anthony
I
Edwards
think
can yam that shit, dude.
Bradley Beal can
Beal's
too.
more of, but
Not
Beal's
as
more of like
explosive,
Not as
you're
but
much,
just
yeah.
yeah.
I
Ah,
don't know.
I'm taking Anthony
So
Edwards.
I'd go Beal.
damn. So are we? Okay, so we're split. I don't know what to do here.
Let's just
We'll just go
pick.
with the one that we picked.
But
We
we're
all
all
split.
split.
Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
so if you say who the next person is, so for me it's Beal against whoever.
Oh, okay. Okay,
For y'all
so
it's Ant.
your player, James Harden.
Harden.
Hard.
I'll take Harden as well.
Yeah. As much as
It's
it
hard.
pains,
When
it
you
pains
can-
me, but
When he can turn it
Yeah.
on, he can turn it on. You know.
Oh man,
Okay, James Harden or Zach LaVine.
Harden.
Do Harden.
Harden.
Okay, Harden or CJ McCollum.
Harden.
I love
Harden.
CJ though.
Oh, I love him too.
He's
love
like
CJ.
Harden's better.
He's a hooper, bro. Yeah, Harden.
Harden.
There's not many people on this list that
Yeah.
I will take over Harden.
Harden, Klay Thompson.
Harden.
I
Harden.
think Harden too.
I just think
I
Harden
mean-
can do more than Clay can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
Clay.
yeah. No, easily.
Clay is one of the greatest shooters of all time, but Harden.
Yeah, no, he can do more.
He's the
Okay,
third best shooter of all time.
so
Yeah, I agree with that.
yes,
He's-
third. So okay, so this one is kind of silly, so you go to prison and they give you a Rubik's Cube, and when you solve that Rubik's Cube is when you get out,
Oh, God,
or
no.
you have to go 5 full minute round with John Jones.
Rubik's Cube.
Uh,
I'll solve it
personally-
eventually.
I've never.
I'm
tried
not
to
gonna
solve
be
a Rubik's
conscious
Cube, but
after the first 10 seconds.
okay,
So
let's do 3 minutes. I'll do 3 minutes. Just 'cause
Even
5 minutes.
3
is a little
minutes?
long.
I'm not lasting 10
Okay, how about
seconds.
this? How about this? I'll add to
Full
his.
minute,
You get in a
full
5
He's gonna
minute,
kick me in the
five-
stomach, and I'm just gonna die.
A full minute.
1 5-minute round, but he holds it back on you enough to just where he tortures you and he won't knock you out. It's just straight
Yeah, yeah.
torture. Just like kidney
straight
shot,
torture.
kidney shot.
Yes.
Liver,
straight torture.
knee,
You will not be
face.
unconscious. No. Yes, exactly. Yes.
I can't solve a Rubik's Cube for the life of me. So give me the
I've
round
never
with John
tried.
Jones. Give me the round.
I would
with
have to
John
take the
Jones.
round. I'd have to take John Jones too.
Yeah, I know that I just can't do it.
I mean, Jacob, have you solved the Rubik's Cube?
I've never, but I think I believe in myself enough to solve a Rubik's Cube. If
But
if,
dude,
if my only purpose is to solve this damn Rubik's Cube, but I'm in jail, I have nothing else to do with my life, I'm solving that thing within a day. I have no clue.
Think about all the different things that could happen to you though while in
Well,
prison.
That's fair. Jacob is I think the most accurate thing I've
Yeah.
ever heard was Cade saying that you could give Jacob a video game in a different language, give him a random controller from anything, give him no like backstory to this game at all, and he would find a way to be good at it. So I would be very confident in him
he's a
finding
fucking nerd.
Bro,
I
wait a
don't, I don't
minute.
trust myself. Yeah, I don't trust myself with the Rubik's
no,
Cube.
not me myself, but I understand why he would do it because he'd figure it out in like an hour, and then
Yeah.
I don't know about an
out.
hour.
He would
I don't know.
he would get to come visit me in the hospital where I'm recovering for the next year.
I get,
ass beat by John Jones.
I get frustrated easy, so I think I'd probably end up breaking the
Actually,
Rubik's Cube,
you
which
know
means I
what?
would never get out of prison. So
I'm peeling,
you
I'm
go
peeling
John
the
Jones?
stickers. I'm peeling the stickers off, and I'm putting them
Replace
back on. Yeah.
I think I would take my chances with John Jones, mainly just because I kind of want to fight him. And I
Is
don't think
he
he'd
tougher?
expect much, so like I would just straight up just Superman punch him as hard as I could, and then just run around in circles in the octagon.
But would that do much?
Dolphin dive, bro.
You never know, dude. What if
Oh,
I get?
dude,
What if I caught him lacking and he just wasn't ready for it, and that chin was loose, and I put him out. You never know.
Does he pay for my medical bills, or do I have to cover that?
Yeah,
Covered by the
yeah,
UFC.
sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. We're good. Then.
Covered by
just-
covered
just give
covered by
me-
Dana White himself.
Oh yeah, just
I mean,
Dana White might hit me too.
he'll hit you with the power slap with his new company. I don't know. I think
Just gotta.
the potential injuries that come out of fighting John Jones are potentially life altering. I mean,
Yeah,
you take one of
I
us
would-
that have never been in a combat sport in our life, and he could do a 25% kick to our body, and we could have internal
Oh.
damage for life.
I'll have you know,
That's funny.
I was a green belt in karate when I was 8.
My
So fuck out of
bad.
here. I was in combat sports.
I fought on the playground in 5th grade, so
Okay,
yeah.
valid.
Nice.
I borderline fought Cam back in 5th grade in math class. So
You borderline fought him about 2 years ago whenever we were drinking.
okay. He didn't want to see
they-
He didn't want to. I was one beer shy of teaching him a lesson. So
Iconic video.
shout out Cam, serving our
shout out.
country right now in the Navy boot camp. Hopefully he gets out soon so we can see him I don't know how long he's been in there already, but
It's been
uh,
about a month,
so what? 2 more
not
months?
even,
2 more months?
because he got in February 13th, so not even a month yet.
Damn. Well, hopefully this
And
finds
I
him in
think
good spirits when he goes back to listen.
I think
He's
I
not
think
gonna
it's got
listen.
to,
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't care about that.
it's got to be like 2.5 months. I think is how long.
Something
So
like that.
He got it. He got it.
yeah, he's got it.
Good deal.
Well, Nick, you
Nick?
got one more? Or is that it?
No, that's it. I just had those two. Yeah,
Sick.
sorry.
Cool.
Great,
Short
great,
week. Short
great
segment.
questions as all.
Hey,
Great as always.
I will
Loved
say
it.
in your shooting guard argument, there was one that you left out that I think I would have taken easy.
I'm trying to pick players that we have no bias towards. That's why I didn't pick Donovan Mitchell.
Valid.
Like I'm trying to like stay so like like of course you would pick I don't know. I'm trying to make it to where like we all don't have
Should
right.
have killed Johnson from the Spurs. I
RJ
mean,
Barrett.
RJ
I would
Barrett's
take
a shooting
RJ
guard?
personally. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He can't
That's
do
disgusting.
anything other than shoot the ball, and he can
He
only
can't
do
even
that.
shoot.
It was
He
like
can't
he
even
can only do
shoot,
that like
man.
22% of the time.
Hey, he had 29 points against Boston.
It wasn't because he was shooting.
He was shooting.
Was he making though?
No, dude, he's garbage, but it's all right. We got Brunson.
And Josh Hart. Actually, did
Yeah,
y'all
Josh
see that parlay that got hit? I think I sent it to I don't know if I sent it to all y'all or
I
just
think
Nick.
you did.
But a dude hit. It was like he put like $88 down and ended up winning like over 100,000. And it was a same game parlay where it came down to game where it came down to Josh Hart needing 10 points. He had 8 in overtime and hit 2 free throws to hit 10. So
Wow.
yeah.
Lord, I've seen what you've done for others.
I just wish
I can't even put down $1 to win $1, bro. I lose that dollar. I mean,
yeah.
I can't win to save my life. So
Same.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Jacob.
thanks for teaching us about that same gay parlay.
All right.
Yeah. That was.
This actually kind of leads into the topic that I got for today.
Oh God. Oh boy.
Oh,
what's
okay.
the special topic for tonight?
Okay.
I'm scared.
It's not bad. I mean, this is something I think everybody has this. Everybody has these. And it's interesting seeing everybody's different opinion on this. So, pet peeves. I want to know if you got one pet peeve, one thing you absolutely despise, multiple. I can go first. I mean, I'm sure there's more that I can think of, but some of the ones that are always like right there for me is the first one. Is like just bad grammar in general, like especially over the phone. I can't stand it, dude. I don't know what it is. It bothers me. I don't know. Again, I don't know what it is. It just bothers me.
Define bad grammar though. Like
I mean, for me, so you have some people that just have an absolutely lack of like they do not care about their grammar. Like if they're texting you, they're just being super
like
casual.
spelling things differently type thing, or like just like.
I mean, everybody has autocorrect, right? So how can you spell stuff wrong with autocorrect? If you still
Like,
find a way,
like people be putting like you, like YOU, like YU,
no,
or
that doesn't bother
like
me at all.
that. Okay,
Because that's just like shorthand.
if you can't put the O in there though, I mean that's just
I do agree. I do agree. Now sometimes people they try to be excellent with their grammar and they overdo it. Like let's say you really only need one comma, they'll throw like 6 commas in there. It's
They
like,
put a semicolon in that bitch.
yeah,
bro.
and it's like used incorrectly. I don't know. It just bothers me. It bothers me when people try to be. It's like, okay, don't act. Don't. You're not an English professor, and neither am I. Let's not act like it. And then the other one is mispronouncing words that are. Everybody mispronounces words, right? There's always just like slip of the tongue, but some people mispronounce easy words over and over, and like I don't know. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot.
You mean like
A
like
good one?
caramel and caramel?
No, like so. For example,
Caramel, by the way.
it is caramel.
Caramel.
That
You're all fucking weirdos.
It's caramel. We're not from the north.
So
Caramel.
one example. So all of us play video games, right?
Yankee.
Let's say, I mean, you got let's say we're playing Call of Duty or something, right? you got like a sentry gun. Everybody know what a sentry gun is?
Yeah.
Sometimes people call it a turret, right? It's Turret. It's like up on a tank. Some people say turret. They throw the N in there. It's like there's no N. There's no N in that.
Current.
How do you say turret? I don't see how. It's just like people. Someone will say it. I'm like,
No, it really grinds my gears.
Dude, it grinds my
When
gears
you
so
say
much.
turret,
It's because like that. It's like you shouldn't be saying that incorrectly. There are words that are hard to pronounce. There are people that, I mean, have difficulty saying certain letters, but I can't accept that one. You know.
grammar police.
Honestly, I mean, I'm not like I don't get onto people. I'm not one of those guys.
You just cuss us out behind our backs when we mispronounce something.
Yes. It's like it'll happen, and I'm just like sitting there like, oh man,
What an idiot!
And I'm sure I have
Secondhand
other.
embarrassment.
Yes.
I'm sure I have other pet peeves, but those are just ones that stand out to me. I don't know what it is.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's my whole life.
I'm gonna start mispronouncing shit on purpose now.
Well,
I think mine would be smacking.
that's a good one.
God,
Oh.
I cannot stand when people smack, and
I-
some people do it. I don't know how.
I have a great movie for you if you hate smacking.
I'm good.
What was it called? I don't know. It's on Amazon Prime. It has Daniel Radcliffe in it.
The Lighthouse, right?
No, that's Robert Pattinson.
Oh.
That's a great movie, by the way. But no, this one, it's like he's an undercover cop, and he like tries to infiltrate like basically a group of skinheads.
Is
I
that
don't
when
know.
he yells racial slur?
Oh,
Is
dude,
that the
multiple.
movie you said?
Yes, multiple. But his boss, it's like the corporal or whatever. She literally smacks on fake gum the entire movie. Every scene she's in, she's fake chewing gum, and it's
Yeah,
not
because-
just like a, it's like a I don't know.
I'm going.
I think there's. Go ahead, Colton.
I'm going with Kyle on this one. Jacob and Nick know. There is not a thing that I hate more on this earth than somebody fucking smacking.
Especially right in your ear.
And they'll do the shit on purpose whenever I get into the Xbox party and make me leave because I can't do it. I hate the shit. It pisses me off.
And there's different levels of smacking. So like I can handle you talking with your mouth full if it's not like overly full, but
Yes. Yeah.
that when the loud like
I don't want to
no.
see your food.
I don't. Yeah, I don't care about that. And loud chewing.
Mm-hmm.
That
It's outrageously loud.
Pisses me off.
So
Also, people driving in the left lane that are doing it under the speed limit. Get the fuck
Dude.
over.
I just
Get
point my
the
gun at them
fuck-
and they move. Usually.
Okay. Calm down, Jaw.
That
Route,
works.
bro.
That always works.
I drive by and I'm just like,
And I think a counterpoint to that,
John Morant.
if the speed limit's 75, again, I would never speed. I don't speed.
Yeah.
But
I've never
if
sped
I'm in the
one
left
time in my
lane
life.
and it's, let's say the speed limit is 75, if I'm going 85, if I'm cruising past people and you're pushing up behind me, that's a pet peeve of mine. I'm not getting over for you. I'm not gonna give you that. You're gonna chill behind me until you can pass me on the right. I'm not getting over just because you're going fast. You're going 50 over.
Oh, so you're
That-
the guy that I hate.
to that, you're gonna hate me too because if I'm going 85 and a 75 and you're trying to swerve out in between people, I will speed up so that way you cannot cut me off.
I do the same thing.
I will risk
Oh,
my
yeah,
car.
yes,
I will risk
absolutely.
my life. I do not
Mhm.
care.
Absolutely.
You will not get past me.
Yep.
If I see you fucking weaving in and out and you're not taking your time behind me and there's like an 18-wheeler coming up, you think you can get that gap? I promise you can't. It ain't worth it. I'm not moving.
You'll
I'm in
hate
a bigger
me.
vehicle. I'm in a bigger vehicle than you, buddy. I'm not
I
moving. Well,
know they'd be
how
cussing
the
me
fuck?
out because I'll drive up. Especially if it's an 18-wheeler, I'll speed up to where you can't cut in front of me, and then I'll slow the fuck down to match the 18-wheeler where you're not
Yeah.
going anywhere, buddy.
Like if you
So-
if you really make me mad and you're doing it like riding my ass and swerving in and out trying to get ahead of me, oh yeah, if I see you, yeah, me and this 18-wheeler, we're about to become buddies. We're gonna, I'm gonna hit him with one of these, maybe get a little,
Yeah.
Nah.
Go ahead.
Get a little what?
So,
Uh-huh.
Nick, what you got, man? What's your pet peeve? So I
Dude,
can do it.
I guess pet
this
peeves.
one, I guess some people can't help it, but like when people make noises when they yawn,
I'm
like
so
when
glad
you,
that didn't go where I thought it was gonna go.
no, you guys are fucked up. First of all, you guys are messed up. No,
Oh,
I'm talking about
Jesus.
yawning. You know, like whenever someone's yawning, they're like, like you don't need to do that,
Yeah.
you know. But like some people do, but like it's all right, you know. That's just that's the thing. First thing that came to mind for me.
Also with sneezing, I think some people that sneeze obnoxiously loud, that just you don't need to be yelling while you sneeze. But also on the flip side, you have like the people that try to hold it in, and it's like that's not a pet. Just for me, I feel like that's painful. I don't want to see your head explode. You know.
To that counter though, sometimes you just need to release that ginormous sneeze.
Right,
Yeah,
but
you
not
need
in
a
I don't know.
loud
public.
one.
It's just like no, I don't care. If it feels like it needs to be one of those, I'm letting that bitch rip.
I don't
Just,
know. I don't know. There's just some like old men do it the worst. It's like, dude,
they're so
Oh,
loud with
dude,
it.
my
bro.
dad, my
They're so
dad
loud with
fucking
it.
yells every
Fucking
time he
going super
sneezes, man.
saiyan, some shit.
Fucking Warren over there will be sitting on the couch. Fucking Christ,
Dude, it's like
Dad.
a jump scare, man. It
I
scares you.
know. I'm like, dude, it's not that fucking serious, man.
I think another one up there for me is burping. I don't like
Yeah.
when people burp. I would rather you fart next to me than burp. Honestly,
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know
true.
why.
Because
I
farts are
cannot
funny.
stand.
Got
I mean, I
permission to
guess if
rip
you're
ass from
10,
cow's calf
I
now.
guess if you're 10, maybe, but like, I don't know, bro. Burps are gross, dude. Like, I cannot. Ugh, I can't stand burps.
I would agree.
Yeah. And then, my dad will he'll just be like, oh, man. Like,
Yeah, that
dog.
was a good one.
Yeah. Huh.
That's
Like,
a good one.
Y'all like hearing barking spiders?
hell yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Goddamn frogs are out, brother.
Oh
Good deal.
man.
Yeah.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
I think that pretty much wraps us up. Yeah, thanks for joining us for another podcast. Thanks for all the comments. Shout out Jay Herbo for getting us talking a lot. Shout out Kaufman for stopping by too. Yeah, it was a good podcast, man. Always enjoy talking to y'all about everything. Um, even though y'all's opinions are wrong on a lot of things, that's okay.
Dude,
Uh,
Boston lost, bro.
hang the banner. How about that?
They
Yeah,
will.
We will.
they most definitely will.
They will.
Yeah. Well, hopefully y'all have a good rest of the week. Hopefully I'll see y'all in a couple days. I hope. I should be in Austin either Friday or Saturday because
That's
I
hot.
gotta
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Gotta go see Carly. Hopefully it don't. Well, it's either gonna
Yeah.
be a really good spring break or it's gonna. I'm gonna. No, I can't say that live. Or it's gonna be a really bad spring break. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not. It's gonna be either one or the other. So
Respect.
yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in. All the views on YouTube and everything. Give us a follow on Twitter. At Jacking Around, JCKN around on Twitter. Yeah. See y'all next week.
Cool.
And
Deuces.